Test. Test. Welcome to tonight's broadcast, Wildcats fans. Hope you're enjoying your Friday night from the K. Yeager Coliseum in Wichita Falls, Texas. I'm Alex Von Coitel, bringing you Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Well, last night is one to forget for the Wildcats, who suffered their worst loss of the season against their rivals, the Lone Star Brahmas, an 8-2 throbbing, and a reality check for the ages was in store for the Cats, who were handed their first loss in 10 games. The Brahmas, on the other hand, snapped a 4-game losing skid and are right back in the mix for first place in the South Division. They have tipped the scales in an otherwise uneven series up to this point between themselves and the Wildcats, and hope to make the series even closer here tonight. Both power plays had a good night. The man advantage for both teams scored twice each. Finally, the Brahmas penalty kill is no longer the best in the North American Hockey League. They dropped below the Robertson Cup champions, the Minnesota Wilderness, who also happen to have the league's best power play. Andre Pizon for the Wildcats is suspended for his kneeing penalty from last night. Sean Giles for the Brahmas suspended for an inappropriate slur he made at a Wildcat last night that a linesman took exception to. So the Cats, without one of their right wingers, have inserted Rourke Russell, the offensive-minded defenseman, at forward. He will take Pizon's place on a line with Eric Yeager and Garrett Van Wy. As for the Lone Star Brahmas, they lose one of their alternate captains and their best stay-at-home defenseman. He will be replaced by John Zimmerman on that top defensive pair with Cameron Clark, November's Defenseman of the Month. Tonight very well could be the most important and most defining game of the season up to this point for the Wildcats. They can now officially say they've stared adversity and humiliation right square in the face. How they respond to it tonight will go a long way in establishing what this team is really made of. A terrific night of hockey is in store for us tonight, folks. Two NAHL powerhouses meeting again before closing the long series out tomorrow night. Wildcats Brahmas coming your way next. Has just been played here at the K. Yeager Coliseum, of course, in the absence of Big John Wilson, who is going through a challenging time, as has been mentioned several times, going through perhaps the most difficult time of his life with stage 4 kidney cancer. We all wish the best for John Wilson and his family, and we extend a heartfelt stick tap his way. In the meantime, we get set for the ceremonial puck drop presented by Qdoba. Austin Beaulieu will take this ceremonial face-off, along with Peter Kessel for the Lone Star Brahmas. Neither of them wearing a letter on their jerseys, but both demonstrating leadership abilities and trust from their head coaches. And as a result, they participate in this ceremony. The ceremonial puck drop has just taken place, and now the players will convene at center ice and await tonight's opening faceoff. The starting lineup tonight for the Wichita Falls Wildcats. Nick Rosa at center. Check that. Adam Goodser at center, who wins the opening faceoff. And Goodser will be flanked this evening by Ryan Burnett and Austin Beaulieu. On defense for the Cats starting off, Jeff Baum and Michael Rounds. And in goal, Justin Kappelmaster, again, hoping to bounce back from the worst night of the season for himself last night. Wildcats starting lineups are brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant. And for the Lone Star Brahmas, starting tonight, Cody Wickline's line, the Dallas, Texas native. He will be flanked by Swedes Melberg and Andren. And on defense, Bud Madej, along with Samu Suminen. Puck dumped into Wichita Falls territory. Kappelmaster rattles it around the near side glass, and the puck goes all the way down the ice, and icing will be called again against the Wildcats. Just 30 seconds have gone by, and the Cats have already iced the puck twice. They're now tasked with a defensive zone faceoff. Goodser still on the ice. Peter Bates replacing Cody Wickline, now the next line on the ice for the Lone Star Brahmas. Bates jumped the gun, so he's swapped out in favor of Matt Christian, who did not play last night. He will tonight. Christian wins the draw. Zimmerman hammers a long slap shot that didn't get through the first body in front. Back to the far point, long shot, pad save, Kappelmaster, his first of the night. Rolls into the corner, Patava slips it behind the net. Christian goes around the far corner boards with it. Burnett is pinned to the corner wall. 5 players scrum for possession there, 3-on-2 favoring the Cats, who end up with it. Burnett's got it now, right side boards. Burnett clears the puck the length of the ice. Will this go far enough for icing? No, it will not. The linesman waving off icing this time. Tonight's referee, Jeffrey Parker Jr. for the second consecutive night, as well as Michael Fasani. Instead of Chris Delaney as the linesman, it will be Brett Hummel tonight. Jake Dalton's got the puck now in his own zone. Dalton down the right wing side. Good pass between a couple of Brahmas skates, and there goes Austin Albrecht. Breaks down the middle and shoots. Stick save Kaspersky, his first stop of the evening. The former Wildcat, Hogan Davidson, goes up the left half wall with it. Carson Kelly sends it rink wide, hoping for Troy York, and it was at his skates. Gilraith jostles for possession, and it looks like the puck was played on a delayed offside, so we get another whistle. Lots of whistles here early and often at the KYC. Just a minute and a half into this game, just one shot apiece, and about 4 times as many whistles. Fasani will drop the puck. Fallon and Yeager will hash things out in the face-off circle, the former of whom won the draw, and Skelly blasts it around the end boards, and Kappelmaster will play the puck. Kappelmaster goes around the near half wall. Fallon keeps it in. Joey Fallon, the Princeton University commit, skates behind the Wildcats net and is tripped there by Noah Gilraith. The referee saw it but didn't make the call. Rourke Russell playing forward tonight, puts on the gas on the forecheck, and the Brahmas shoot the puck out to center ice. Yeager backhands it further up the sideboards, and Estes intercepts. Brandon Estes tried to deke his way around Dalton. No luck with that. The Brahmas play the puck in deep. Gilraith goes after it, but Fallon gets to it first. Fallon slips it back to the point. Estes' long shot, paddled away by Kappelmaster. Berardinelli shoves Van Wy, or Gilraith rather, off the puck. Gilraith has it now. Patiently awaits in his own zone and sends it D-to-D for Jake Dalton. Van Wy tries to set up Dalton in the neutral zone. He pushed it further, hoping for Russell, as it's guided on back to Holden Cronin. Cronin playing in his second game back after the injury. He had some smart plays last night in the game for the Wildcats. He was a -1, had a shot on goal and 14 penalty minutes in his first game last night since October 23rd, and it came against the Lone Star Brahmas. He was actually on the ice for Rourke Russell's first goal as a Wildcat, which was that overtime winner. Pushed up the wall, held in. Bud Madej sends it towards the corner. Askren off the boards. He shoots and missed the net. That is Andren, not Askren, my apologies, as the Wildcats push the puck out to center ice, and Bud Madej regathers possession. Cody Wickline's got some time. Beaulieu goes to take the man. He pushes Wickline off the puck, who's tired at the end of a shift. Cronin picks it up behind the Wildcats' goal, sets up Ryan Burnett down the right wing side. Burnett with a burst of speed now through center ice, tries to split the D, gains the blue line, takes it wide, fires the shot. Stick save by Kaspersky. Long shot, Gilraith into the glove. That's Goodser, rather, of Kaspersky. 3 minutes and 15 seconds have gone by. Just 4 shots, 2 apiece. 2 saves apiece by the goaltenders tonight. Justin Kapelmaster and Corbin Kaspersky. Kapelmaster had just 4 saves last night, conceded 3 goals on 7 shots. Did not have his best performance, but in his defense, the Wildcats didn't help him out a whole lot. Gave up way too many high-quality opportunities in the first 5 minutes of the game. This game has started out much more evenly than last night. Look out, Kapelmaster is just brought down from behind. It looked like Michael Rounds went crashing into him from behind. Kapelmaster didn't see him coming. Rounds and Carson Kelly just slid in from behind him and took his legs out. And boy, this could be scary, folks. And now Brian Deathrage is the trainer for the Wildcats is walking over towards Kapelmaster, who's behind the Wildcats goal, still down, has not gotten back up after the collision. This is a very scary moment, folks. Justin Kapelmaster has been the anchor for the Wichita Falls Wildcats all season long. He had a rough go of things last night, probably the worst game of the season for him, but aside from that game and perhaps the game in Amarillo, he has been outstanding in every game he has played this season. And without him, the Wildcats could be in trouble. And that's not to discredit Julian Syme, who is a very formidable goaltender as well. But he's got 3 years. He's 3 years younger, has less experience, doesn't quite have the competitive edge yet that Kapelmaster does, who has played juniors before and was last year's goaltender of the year in the Ontario Junior Hockey League with the Trenton Golden Hawks. Like Julian Syme's got his equipment ready. Good to see Kapelmaster finally getting up to his knees at least, and he's being given some attention by Brian Deathrage at the moment with nobody else around. Benches are patiently awaiting the outcome of this. First period of Wildcats hockey is brought to you by American Classifieds, and as always, folks, don't be afraid to shoot the Wildcats Twitter page a message. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know why you're tuning in. Let us know who you are, and I'll be sure to give you a shout-out before this game comes to an end. Great to see Justin Kapelmaster back on his skates now, and as you can hear from this Wichita Falls K. Yeager Coliseum crowd, very much appreciative of his efforts this season, giving him a big round of applause. And it appears he will be all right, just got the wind knocked out of him, and you can't blame him. He was playing the puck behind the net, didn't even see the play happening behind him, and Michael Rounds and Carson Kelly just went barreling into him, full speed, sliding on the ice, and just pretty much took his legs out from under him. But he is okay. Great to see that. Play will continue. No penalties handed out to either side, and we can only hope that that trip or that little mix-up, I guess you can say, with Kapelmaster didn't rattle him too much. Goodsir on a delayed offside, and the whistle blows. Zone faceoff will take place now between Adam Goodsir and Cody Wickler, or Martin Melberg rather. Zimmerman picks up the loose puck and guides it across for Cam Clark. Puck intercepted in the neutral zone. Bolio shoots it the other way for Ryan Burnett. Offside is Goodsir for the second straight time. So we get another whistle. This is probably the longest 4 minutes of hockey we have had this season. Not even 4 minutes. 16:11 remaining in period 1. Probably been twice as many whistles as there have been minutes played in this game. Hummel will drop the puck in the neutral zone once more. This time Nick Rosa takes it and wins the draw cleanly. Michael Rounds guns it down and behind his own net. He picks it up, works his way out in front of the goal, and looks to set things up. Michael Rounds, the offensive-minded defenseman, really come into his own after a few months here in his first season of juniors. Tries to keep the puck alive at the left point, but fails to do so. Lazarus gives it across for Albrecht. Offside again against the Wildcats. Some of the fans getting a little restless here. Well, it hasn't been the most exciting 5 minutes, but it certainly beats last night. 3 goals conceded in the first 5 minutes. Lazarus pushes it back to Dalton. He guns it down. Dalton stops behind his own goal. Bit of a head fake and looks to work things ahead. Dalton now skates it through center. Rosa chips it in deep. Lazarus goes after it. Lazarus behind the Lone Star net, puts it in front, missed the glove of Kaspersky after it went off a stick, and it's taken behind the net by Peter Bates. Bates wraps it around the right half boards, kept alive by Lazarus, trying to go deep. Rink-wide pass partially picked off. Albrecht goes after it, but it's taken first by Matt Christian. And it looks like another offside is whistled, this time against the Lone Star Brahmas. Matt Hines goes across for Holden Cronin. Hines was not expected to play in tonight's game, but with the suspension to Andre Pizon for his kneeing penalty last night, Hines is on defense and Rourke Russell is on at right wing in place of Pizon. Hines guides it across and Yeager dumps it in deep. Kaspersky in behind the net, leaves it for Samu Suminen. Suminen goes around the boards, held in left point. Hines walks the line, takes the shot, ricocheted off a couple of Lone Star Brahmas, pops up into the air, and Yeager goes after it. Far half boards, chips it in deep, and Davidson intercepts. Rourke Russell playing the forward possession quite well so far, pinning Davidson to the half wall, trying to jimmy it loose, and it looks like it finally comes out loose. Yeager turns and fires it off the glass again. Madej picks it up in the slot, sends it over to Troy York, and the Brahmas get out to center. York plays it through the air. Suminen is in on the backhand. He shoots, stopped by Kappelmaster. Probably his best save of the night. There's Samu Suminen, the defenseman there. Not really an offensive-minded guy either. Found his way behind the Wildcats defense with a pretty good look and probably the best scoring chance of the game thus far for either side. And Kappelmaster said no. Samu Suminen, a native of Finland, just like Alexei Poikala. Suminen without a goal to his credit this season, but 3 assists and has the best plus-minus on the Lone Star Brahmas with a +10. And now a neutral zone faceoff will take place between Poikala and Joey Fallon. Poikala's sister Annie is in attendance tonight here at the KYC. Very happy to welcome her to Wichita Falls, Texas. She's currently a student out on the East Coast, so quite a long trip out to Texas, and we thank her for tuning in and watching some Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Hopefully Alexei has a good game tonight. Michael Rounds carries the puck behind the Wildcats net, deals for Max Reisinger. Played it cross ice there for Nikita Litviak, delayed offside, whistle blows again. Sir wins the neutral zone face-off, and Jeff Baum goes after it. Baum goes D-to-D for Michael Rounds. Rounds across the ice. He feeds Adam Goodsir. Goodsir carries it down the right wing side and puts on the brakes, tries to go on back, and the defensemen were changing, so Dalton picks it up in the neutral zone. Noah Gilraith across for Austin Beaulieu. Drops it off there at the right point. Dalton walks the line, plays a saucer pass across. Gilraith slides it back door, and a shot is turned on goal, and it's stopped by Kaspersky. A good play there by the Wildcats. Some good puck movement. Martin Melberg gains the red line and shoots the puck out of play. The Wildcats win the face-off. Noah Gilraith in the neutral zone, fires it around the boards, and Kaspersky will leave it there behind his own net. Estes gets it out to center beyond the reach of Noah Gilraith. Dalton for Johnny Lazarus. The 20s line back on the ice. Rosa battling for it. He's outnumbered by 3 Brahmas. Christian gains possession and backhands one in deep. Justin Kappelmaster now. Jake Dalton in his own zone. Now try to wheel it on ahead. Gets past Kyle Pataba. Gains the blue line. Dalton puts on the brakes down in the far corner and has a look. Pivots and plays it in deep, down low. Lazarus coming off the half wall. Tries to leave it for Nick Rosa. Rosa pushes it further for Austin Albrecht. The Brahmas muddling things up along the boards there, not giving the Wildcats a whole lot of looks on net. Estes knocking the puck away from Lazarus and shooting it off the boards and out to center. Cronin's going to have to hustle after it. Cronin stripped up, delayed offside, so the Brahmas will wait in the neutral zone and backhand the puck in deep. A smart play there by Carson Kelly. Holden Cronin has to pivot with it. Rosa pushes it up the wall, and Austin Albrecht in behind his own net for Holden Cronin. Cronin held onto it a bit too long, and a pass comes into the middle for Berardinelli, whose shot missed the net up high, bounces into the slot, and the puck is cleared, as is the danger. Icing has been nullified here. Van Wy slams into the Bud Madej along the end boards. Peter Kessel carries the puck down the left wing side. He's defended there by Jeff Baum. Kessel the shot, pad save Kappelmaster. Yeager picks up the loose puck in the slot. His delta backhand pass from Garrett Van Wy. Yeager deals for Rourke Russell, the defenseman playing forward here tonight. And the Brahmas steal the puck off his stick as Fallon is brought down in the neutral zone emphatically there by Michael Rounds. Rourke Russell tries to play it to himself off the boards. He's interfered with there by a Lone Star Brahma after entering the zone. That's Samu Suminen, who knocks it loose, and it's picked up by Joey Fallon. Fallon tries to guide it through center. It's corralled by Berardinelli, who tried to spring Oscar Andrin. Instead, he got Fallon, and Reisinger pushes it away from the reach of Oscar Andrin back to center. The Brahmas have to regroup. Clark for Andrin. Andrin pushes it towards the net, paddled away by Kappelmaster, taken there by Michael Rounds. Rounds at the end of a pretty long shift now, carries it in his own zone. Sends it across the ice on a D-to-D pass for Jeff Baum. Baum's rink-wide pass went off the tape of Reisinger back into the Cat zone, and the Wildcats regrouping with it now. Baum to the right wing side. Alexei Poikula into the slot. Litviak holds and shoots. Stick save Kaspersky. Poikula is tripped by Kaspersky. No penalty. And the puck has just been cleared into center ice, and it's whacked away by Noah Gilraith away from Kyle Pataba. Pataba regains possession. Back to the deep slot. Zimmerman chips it in towards the corner. Pataba's slammed off the play by Jake Dalton. Nikita Litviak goes rink wide with a pass off the near half wall and for Max Reisinger in his own zone. Reisinger plays it behind the net. Gilraith picks it up. Noah Gilraith will skate the puck down the right wing side. He's going to lead the rush. He dances his way into the Lone Star zone, powers his way to the net, slips it in front, sticked away there, and picked up by Bates. Loose puck whacked at by Gutzer, and eventually carried out of harm's way by John Zimmerman. Zimmerman, the de facto replacement tonight for Sean Giles, one of the alternate captains and the best stay-at-home defenseman for the Lone Star Brahmas, who was suspended after last night's game for an inappropriate slur he made at one of the Wildcats players that a linesman took exception to. And we are now officially halfway through period 1, so we're going to go to our first period media timeout. So Adam Gutzer will meet up with Hogan Davidson now in the face-off circle to the left of Justin Kappelmaster, and the Brahmas looking to get an attack going, but it's picked off and airmailed out to center for Austin Beaulieu. Wraps up Brandon Estes there, and the puck comes free. Here's Dalton Skelly, who did not play last night, gets the return pass from Troy York. And he bobbled it before gaining possession, so an offside whistle is blown up by the linesman. Here's Peter Kessel, offside again. I'd be interested to know how many offside whistles have blown this game. The neutral zone faceoff will take place again, and it's going to feature Joey Fallon and Nick Rosa. Fallon wins it this time, and Zimmerman hammers it around the half wall in deep in the Wildcats zone. Lazarus goes off the glass with it. The Brahmas bobble it in center ice, and the Brahmas are on a delayed offside. Wildcats shoot it back into the Lone Star zone. Here's Joey Fallon. Fallon slips it rink wide. Could be a 2-on-1 for the Brahmas. Berardinelli holds and shoots. Pad save. Rebound. What a save by Kappelmaster. His best of the night on Peter Kessel. Berardinelli with an extremely intelligent shot. He knew that he couldn't make the pass because Jeff Baum was taking the passing lane away from him. So he just took a shot low off the pads, which is what you're instructed to do on 2-on-1s. If you can't make the pass, he did just that. Kappelmaster coughed up a pretty juicy rebound there for Peter Kessel, who's got quite a shot. And he made another huge stop on number 64 in black as a long wrist shot from Bud Madej missed the net. Rourke Russell's going to pick it up right wing side. Rourke Russell surveys, wheels his way across the Wildcats logo, gains the Lone Star line, takes it wide and shoots and missed the net wide. Goes in behind the Lone Star net. Samu Suminen with a simple play for Cody Wickline, who coughs it up, turns it over. Jaeger fires a shot, and he missed wide on the far side. Garrett Van Wy rattles it in deep. Rourke Russell goes after it, blindly backhands one in front, went off a Brahmas skate. Jaeger pinned to the corner boards, and the Brahmas end up with it once more. Bud Madej. Madej towards the corner for Oscar Andrin. Brahmas fail to clear, held in Jaeger. Backhanded towards the corner and in behind the Lone Star net. Suminen turns with it from Russell. Suminen looks again. This time the Brahmas get it back to the point, but not out. Gilrae's long shot blocked. Suminen ahead for Fallon. Finally, the Lone Star Brahmas get the puck out of the defensive zone. Wildcats now trying to catch the Brahmas in the midst of a change while going for one themselves. That didn't work out. Garrett Van Wy was outnumbered in deep. Litviak with a pretty big hit there on Matt Christian as they both battle away for possession now, and the Brahmas will cycle it in their own zone. Bud Madej returns on a D-to-D pass for Dalton Skelly, the offensive-minded defenseman. Splits the ice there on a pass for Peter Bates, who coughs it up. Alexei Poikla tries to send Max Reisinger down the right wing side, but his lead pass was a bit beyond his reach, and the Brahmas shoot it back the other way. Kappelmaster behind his own net. Turns it over, look out, whacked out of harm's way there on a good defensive play by Matt Hines, who sensed the danger and cleared it. And Alexei Poikla will backhand one up the right wing side. Nikita Litviak goes off the glass and all the way into the Lone Star zone. Brandon Estes has to recover. 6 minutes and 45 seconds remain in period one. Still no score in our game. Big bad turnover by the Brahmas. Burnett dances his way in, takes a shot. Glove save, Kaspersky, and no further play. Adam Goodser is going to take this draw. He wins it pretty cleanly, gets it back himself, and he's pinned to the half wall by Hogan Davidson. Goodser tries to kick it towards the corner for Burnett, and instead got it a bit too far, so Zimmerman will play it ahead. Zimmerman fires at the length of the ice. Easy icing call against the Brahmas. 6.5 remain in period one, brought to you by American Classified. Still no score, 10 shots, 5 apiece. Burnett turns with the puck. Redirects a shot on goal, or Goodser does. It's loose and behind. They shoot, and it's waved off. The Wildcats thought they scored, at least for a second, and the referee, Jim Jeffries Jr., giving the washout signal. And the Brahmas finally clear out to center. Michael Rounds fires a puck into the opposite corner, and the Wildcats' Goodsir line now going off the ice and being replaced by the 20s line. Rounds trying to stymie Joey Fallon at the blue line. Albrecht gets it back from Rosa. The Cats are out of their own zone. Here comes Peter Kessel regaining possession into the Wildcat zone once more. Fired towards the corner by Jeff Baum. It's going to be picked up left half boards by Austin Albrecht. Joey Fallon forechecking hard. Knocked loose there by Nick Rosa. Batted back to the point. Madej hammers a one-time shot that was redirected wide. Didn't have a whole lot of mustard on it. Rounds turns it over. Sumanen was off balance when he took the shot, and it was blocked as a result, and there go the Cats. Johnny Lazarus with some speed will try to take it wide on Samu Sumanen. Puts on the brakes, delays. Lazarus looks, goes to the back. Dalton's one-timer missed the net. Albrecht holds, he shoots. Stopped by Kaspersky. Unbelievable stop. He appeared to be down and out, but he got back into position to rob the Wildcats' leading scorer in Austin Albrecht, and he keeps this game tied. Eric Yeager now to take the offensive zone draw. It's loose along the half boards and chopped in deep. Yeager turns with it, looks for somewhere to go. Gilraith wants it at the point. Good coverage there in their own zone by the Lone Star Brahmas. Russell jimmies it loose. Van Wy backhands a shot towards the net. It was blocked by Melberg, who will skate it back into his own territory and fire it out to center. Good skate-to-stick play there by his fellow Swede, Oscar Andren. Knocked free and chipped ahead by Eric Yeager, but to no avail. Dalton Skelly's back on it. He will hoist it into the Wichita Falls zone. Kapellmeister plays it out to Garrett Van Wy. Russell bursts down the middle of the ice on the right wing side, maybe got in the way of Van Wy a little bit, something he's not used to doing as a defenseman now playing forward. That's one of the things Rourke Russell's going to have to learn if he plays forward for the Wildcats, is make sure you get out of the way of your fellow forwards, especially when they're as fast as Garrett Van Wy. And the Wildcats, as a result, were caught offside. A neutral zone face-off won by the Lone Star Brahmas. Here's Bud Madej. And he has just shot it into the Wichita Falls bench. It's been one of the slower periods we've seen this season. Not a whole lot of shots, just 12 total, 7-5 favoring the Cats, no goals, and a whole heck of a lot of whistles. Alexei Poikla is going to take the draw against Peter Bates. Poikla wins it, Hines has it, left point, bobbles the puck a bit, chops it towards the corner. Litviak pinned to the corner boards by Cam Clark. Wraps it around the end wall. Reisinger goes after it, as does Holden Cronin, who ends up with it. Cronin chops it in deep. Litviak pivots his way with the puck in behind the Lone Star net. Poikla ends up with it. Poikla will jostle it back to the blue line. Hines goes across for Holden Cronin. Cronin surveying, plays it off the corner glass. Poikla picks it up. Poikla near corner boards, tries to knock it loose. Hines eventually played it free to the other side. Max Reisinger drops it off there for Litviak, who holds and fires. It missed the blocker side of Kaspersky. As Reisinger jumps in the air to keep that puck alive, it bounced up nearly over him, and he jumped up and played it down. Some good hops there by Max Reisinger, who's getting into it now a little bit with one of the Lone Star Browns. Looks like that's Kyle Patava. The whistle blows. A hand pass was called against Reisinger. Still scoreless here at the KYC. 7-5 remain the shots. 3:22 remaining in period one. Brought to you by American Classifieds. Still no score. Hogan Davidson versus Adam Goodsir now in front of the Lone Star bench in the face-off circle. Davidson wins the draw. Goodsir with a steal. Michael Rounds with the puck. Jeff Baum, his fellow defenseman, shoots it off the glass. Beaulieu goes after it, but the Brahmas have cleared before he could get there, and Rounds recovers. The Wildcats have just fired the puck the length of the ice. No icing. Bud Madej weaves his way around a couple of Wildcats, and the puck has just been sauced out to center ice for Hogan Davidson. Davidson holds on, tries to play it in deep, and Bolio was there to intercept. Goodser tries to kick it free and get past the defenseman there, and Bud Madej, he does. Left side, Goodser holds, he's hauled down. That's going to be a penalty against the Brahmas. And for the first time tonight, the Wildcats will go to the Jim Arnold's collision power play. And Goodser's hard work paying off. I believe it's going to be a hook against the Lone Star Brahmas. Troy York now heading to the Brahmas sin bin. The Wildcats with the second best power play percentage in the North American Hockey League. They've been pretty good of late. They scored 2 power play goals last night against a very good penalty kill in the Lone Star Brahmas, who are now down to the second best penalty kill in the league after last night, behind the Minnesota Wilderness, the Robertson Cup champions, who also have the best power play to date. There's some good special teams, some very special teams for the Minnesota Wilderness. But it's a new game tonight. We'll see what this formidable Jim Arnold collision power play unit can do for Coach LaFontaine's Cats. Off the tie-up in the face-off circle, Davidson's just sitting on it, trying to kill some time. 3 Wildcats now down there trying to jostle it loose, and Albrecht did well to keep the puck in the offensive zone off the stick of Alex Berardinelli. And Albrecht played it in deep off the glove of Johnny Lazarus. Max Reisinger misses the puck down there at the goal line. Lazarus rescues it, tries to center. The Brahmas try to clear, and Jeff Baum believed he held the puck alive at the blue line. The linesman Hummel saw otherwise. We're going to try this again. Neutral zone face-off this time, and it will feature Austin Albrecht and Hogan Davidson. Albrecht wins it. Litviak picks it up, turns with it, and goes across the ice off the skates of Jeff Baum. Pushed further. Berardinelli was lurking, hoping for another short-handed breakaway, of which he's had countless this season. Kaspersky drops it off. The Brahmas fail to clear. Good keep by Litviak. Litviak slips it back door there on the far side for Johnny Lazarus. Estes tries to clear. Good stick by Lazarus, and what have we here? Reisinger just gave a shove to Hogan Davidson after the whistle, and now the linesman separating this feud from getting any worse than it already is. Some bad blood between Max Reisinger and Hogan Davidson, no doubt about that. Former teammates. Both of them have been in this league a long time, and certainly no love lost between the two of them. Still not sure why the whistle was blown in the first place, folks. There was no hand pass or high stick or anything that I saw that could have instigated a whistle being blown, but the Wildcats are going to have to take this draw at center ice now instead of the offensive zone. 1 minute and 11 seconds remain on the Troy York hooking penalty. 1 minute and 51 seconds remain in the first period. Brandon Estes surveys and clears the puck the length of the ice into the glove of Kappelmaster. Bit of a creative way to handle the puck there. Looks like he was trying to throw a punch towards Hogan Davidson when he had it in his glove. So even the newer Wildcats have no love for number 37 in black tonight. Adam Goodser to take the draw in the defensive zone. Garrett Van Wy scoops it up behind Kappelmaster's net, and he will skate it forth. Garrett Van Wy gives it ahead, hoping for Adam Goodser. It goes a bit beyond his reach. Zimmerman goes after it, pinned to the corner boards now by Goodser. It's a 2-on-2 puck battle, equally divided down there, and it looks like the Wildcats may end up with it. Yeager battling away for it mercilessly down there. Finally it comes free. Davidson ends up with it, banks it off the glass, held in, rounds his long shot, redirected just wide by Van Wy. Picked up near half boards. Van Wy slips it back to Beaulieu. Tries to deke his way around Davidson, who's tired at the end of a shift. Beaulieu with his head up finds Yeager near point. Goes across the ice, rounds his one-timer, but was blocked. There goes Alex Berardinelli, another shorthanded breakaway. He's in down the slot. He fakes, he shoots, missed the net wide. Far half wall, Davidson outnumbered 3-1 by a few Wildcats. Comes loose back out to center. Berardinelli clears it back in. 8 seconds remain on the Jim Arnold collision power play. Time for maybe one last shot for the Wildcats. as Rounds dishes it off and goes to the bench for a line change. Beaulieu storms in on his off wing and takes a shot that flutters up high and wide of the goal. Picked up in the corner by Rosa, slammed into the boards, knocked loose for Lazarus. In deep now for Albrecht, in behind the net, centers, missed Beaulieu all the way to the back. Dalton Holt, he fires, blocked by York. Picked up far half wall. Wickline clears just beyond the reach of Rosa, and the Brahmas are able to get a much needed line change, at least a partial one, as Dalton skates it back into his own zone. Time winding down, a quarter of a minute remains in the period, and the last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn and Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats. Noah Gilraith gains the logo, gives it across for a long-range shot from center ice that's smothered up by Corbin Kaspersky. Wildcats with their 9th shot on goal tonight. 2.5 seconds remain on the clock. Time for one last shot in this period. They're going to have to set up an aggressive offensive zone face-off here, and we'll see what they have in store. It's going to be in the right circle, so you've got to get a right-handed shot behind Nikita Litviak, or Alexei Poikla rather, and try to one-time it on goal. Poikla wins it. Sharp angle shot from Litviak gets blocked, and that's going to do it. The first period of Wildcats hockey, brought to you by American Classifieds, has come to an end. We are scoreless after 20 minutes of play, but hey, anything beats last night. The Wildcats were down 3-1 after last night, down 3-0 after 5 minutes. Big improvement here from last night to tonight. Still no score in our game. 8-5 the shots on goal in favor of the Wichita Falls Wildcats. When we come back, we're going to have an intermission interview with Wildcats assistant coach Josh Nelson, who provided his thoughts on last night's game, as well as what can be improved on here tonight. Stay tuned. Nelson.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, Coach, it was a tough loss last night, possibly the worst loss of the season for you guys. Was the message after the game more uplifting and reassuring to the team after a tough loss like that, or was it more bring the hammer down on the guys?
No, I mean, there's times to bring the hammer down. I thought, you get a little bit of effort here and there, but for the most part, I thought effort was there. Just, I think what we were missing was a lot of energy. When you kind of get knocked back like you did that fast, everyone's kind of looking around for answers. So it's kind of a little bit humbling, I guess, if you will. So we're not too frustrated. Just time to come together. And this morning we had a little team meeting, got together, and I think we're just ready to go out and play for each other, so we don't have to see each other go through that again.
Oftentimes teams learn a lot more from losses than they do from wins, and it's certainly good to be reminded that nobody's invincible, and last night was certainly proof of that. So what were some of the problems? You mentioned that the team was a little bit flat, maybe short on energy. Were there some problems elsewhere around the ice, and if so, how do you plan on addressing them tonight?
When you play a team like Lone Star, you don't need to be off by very much for them to expose you. So I'd say, again, when you get down that fast, you want to tell your guys to just play the same game and just chip away, but you find yourself just naturally kind of leaning for cherry picking, maybe kind of losing your defensive responsibilities just a touch. Not a lot, but again, going back to Lone Star being just the impressive team they are as well, you don't have to give them much for them to kind of put one in the back of your net, or
Right.
I guess as we saw 8. So I don't think it's a whole lot of X's and O's or anything like that, as much as just giving them 1 or 2 steps where again, a team like that, that's all they need. Well, we got Paisan out, so we're short right now with Ben Lown up with Omaha, the USHL. So yeah, we went with Rourke. Rourke's got a high skill set. He's one of those kids on the DN that's always liking to get up in the play as it is. He kind of has that offensive mentality. So
Right.
Without losing a whole lot of stability on the back end now, having Cronin back, lucky to have him back. So we are able to throw someone like Russell up front without losing too much on the back end. So I think it's a good natural move for him. Shouldn't be too tough. He'd be a nice kind of defensive forward, if you will. So shouldn't be anything too drastic. I think he'll kind of enjoy it. Hopefully get some fun out of it. Absolutely. Yeah, you give a player like that a little X's and O's here and there, offensive zone. What do you do? Neutral zone, D zone. You just give them some basic concepts, but for the most part, we're not a huge X's and O's team. We're kind of read and react. So
Right.
he's gonna read the play like I guess a defensive forward, and I think as long as he plays hard, finishes his checks, and just kind of plays hockey the right way, I think we'll be okay.
Last night, and hopefully this gives him Colorado Thunderbirds. Can you shed some light on the possibility of maybe
We're really excited to have him. It's awesome. You're kind of able to have this affiliate list where you're able to see some of these guys that you wouldn't otherwise get to see with the travel schedule they have with midget hockey or whatever level they're at. So it's awesome. We've been able to see him on the ice here the last couple of days. He's been in town practicing with us. So we actually got to know him before that, though. He was in town. Actually, almost made our team this last year. So he was at main camp with us, and great kid. We got a good relationship going with him. So yeah, we're hoping to get him in tomorrow to the lineup, have him watch. Obviously, last night he was here watching, and then tonight, and hope he'll get his feet underneath him and be comfortable enough to make an impact tomorrow.
that we interviewed him last night
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Great kid.
problems from last night, some of the adjustments you're going to have to make tonight. Above all else, that stands out as the biggest
I think it's going to be energy. Compete. Energy and compete. I think last night, you don't want to say, like I said, I think the effort's there for the most part, but the energy and just plain being an athlete and not liking to get defeated, whether it's mentality as a team or individually, we just need to raise that just a little bit. Thank you very much.
Josh Nelson, the assistant coach on your Wichita Falls Wildcats, and I'm Alex Von Coitel, bringing you your first scoreboard. Hey, to our viewers on FastHockey.com, we hope you enjoyed that intermission interview with Wildcats assistant coach Josh Nelson, and to our YouTube listeners, we're sorry you didn't get a chance to hear it, but we hope you've enjoyed the game up to this point. We're still scoreless after one period of play here at the K. Yeager Coliseum, but hey, anything beats last night. 8 shots on goal for the Wildcats in the first period. They probably had the edge in play. 5 shots conceded for the Wildcats to the Brahmas. Kapellmaster stopped all 5. Kaspersky stopped all 8 for the Lone Star Brahmas. Kapellmaster also having a much better game tonight. Of course, last night having one of the roughest starts probably of his career. Gave up 3 goals on 7 shots. Not to say they were his fault, but certainly not the kind of start he was hoping for. That's for sure. And tonight, he's looked pretty solid. He made a huge save on a rebound early on in this game on Peter Kessel. He denied a partial breakaway for Samu Suminen, and he caused Alex Berardinelli to change his angle just enough on the shot to where he missed the net. Berardinelli, of course, very skilled on breakaways. One of the best scorers on the Lone Star Brahmas this season. He's got 13 goals, the leading goal scorer on the Brahmas by far. The only one who's really even close to him is Peter Kessel and Oscar Andren, both of them with 8. So, and given Berardinelli's speed, it's easy to see why he does so well on breakaways. I mean, that's what he practices in practice and in warm-ups, and why not? I mean, we've got speed like that, you're going to get breakaways, and he has pretty much perfected it like an art form. And not very often you see him miss the net on a breakaway, and he did because Kappelmaster played the position perfectly. Now to give you our out-of-town scoreboard around the North American Hockey League. Looks like the Fairbanks Ice Dogs are out east in New Jersey against the New Jersey Titans. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs winning that game 3-1. The final up there. Todd Burgess continues his hot scoring streak. He had another one tonight. The NAHL's leading scorer tallies another one on the power play. All the scoring in that game occurred in the first period, and the New Jersey Titans were never able to recover. Kenai River Brown Bears are trailing the Aston Rebels by a score of 3-1. Again, the Aston Rebels having a pretty good season. They actually dropped or conceded the first goal, scored by Cameron Cook of the Kenai River Brown Bears, but scored 3 unanswered in period 2. That game being played at the Iceworks Complex in Aston, Pennsylvania, now in its second intermission. The Coulee Region Chill with a couple of former Wildcats on the team, hosting the Minnesota Magicians early in period 2. Still no score in that game. Former Wildcats Alex Faulkner and Shane Kuzmeski are both in the lineup. Kuzmeski with 2 shots in the game. For a South Divisional matchup now, the Corpus Christi Ice Rays and Amarillo in West Texas taking on the Amarillo Bulls at the Amarillo Civic Center and trailing the Bulls by a score of 2-0. 18-11 the shots on goal after 1 period of play. Much more run and gun type hockey. Pretty much fire wagon hockey out in Amarillo, Texas. The Bulls with an edge in shots by 7 and a lead in the goals department as well, 2-0. Liam Ferguson and Johan Lundgren both scoring for the Amarillo Bulls. Lundgren scored on the power play, that big line of himself, Joey Molinaro, and George Mika. Undoubtedly the best line the Bulls have. And if they had a little bit more depth, they would be a much more formidable opponent, because that line has kind of turned that team into a bit of a one-trick pony. So the Bulls and Corpus Christi Ice Rays going at it now in West Texas. The South Division's bottom 2 teams hashing things out. And the Bulls looking for their 8th win of the season. The Corpus Christi Ice Rays looking for their 10th. If Corpus Christi manages to turn this game around, then they'll be tied with the Odessa Jackalopes for 4th place. Meanwhile, up in Austin, Minnesota, a rematch from last season's Robertson Cup Finals. The Austin Bruins hosting the Minnesota Wilderness. That game in its first intermission at the moment. No score. The Topeka Roadrunners are out in Springfield. This is the 11th time this season the Roadrunners and Junior Blues have met. That game yet to begin. The Brookings Blizzard are facing off against their fellow South Dakota team, the Aberdeen Wings, who have a 2-0 lead over the Blizzard. Tucker DeYoung's got both goals, one of which was on the power play for the Wings. And last but not least, the Minot Minotauros still scoreless with the Bismarck Bobcats here early in period 1, just 5 minutes in. And that's going to wrap things up for the out-of-town scoreboard here, folks. We've got about 8 minutes remaining before second period action brought to you by American Classifieds is underway. We're going to take another short break here from the KYC. When we come back, we'll bring you second period action and more in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks, to the K. Yeager Coliseum in Wichita Falls, Texas. Our second period, brought to you by American Classifieds, is just 30 seconds from commencing here as the Wildcats, with the words of John LaFontaine fresh in their minds, look to get the ball rolling here and get the first goal tonight. They couldn't do it last night, but they have certainly played a much stronger game all around as Cody Wickline carries it into the Wildcat zone and takes a backhand shot from the goal line. Kessel fires a shot, missed the net wide. Zimmerman pinches, plays it in deep. Baum overskates it temporarily, rattles it around the corner boards. Beaulieu's got it now. Goes off the wall, Zimmerman holds it in. Plays it behind the Wildcats net, Rounds is stripped of it by Peter Kessel. Kessel looks, backhands it to Berardinelli, who tried to center for Fallon, and a good defensive stick by Ryan Burnett knocked the puck back into the Lone Star zone. Cameron Clark banks it off the end boards, and it goes out to center as it's carried by Zimmerman. John Zimmerman, the stay-at-home defenseman for the Brahmas, wraps it around the end boards. Rosa tries to push it out to center. A centering pass was fanned down by Oscar Andren. Baum plays it off the wall, but not out. Held in on a good play by Brandon Estes, goes rink wide. It's picked up by Melberg, who's in, slips it in front, fanned down by Wickline, and picked up and carried out of harm's way by Austin Albrecht. Kept alive at the blue line, sent in deep. Baum's got it behind his own net, feeds it to Lazarus, who plays it off the glass. Loose puck in the slot's going to be gathered up by Baum. Melberg couldn't steal it from him. The puck goes off a Wildcat skate and goes all the way down for an icing call against Wichita Falls. So the face-off will now take place to the right of Justin Kappelmaster. Nick Rose is going to take the draw. He wins it cleanly from Peter Bates. Rounds is going to try to push it along the near boards, and the puck bounces out to center ice. Suhonen nearly took a tumble there. Christian gloves it down. Chopped at by Rosa, back out to the Lone Star zone, and Suhonen plays it across. This has been a much more tight checking and closely contested game than last night, which was wide open. Lots of run-and-gun hockey. This has been very much more disciplined and very much more controlled. Estes walks the blue line and feathers it in deep. Rounds pushes it further along the end wall. Bates tries to center, goes through the skates of Matt Christian, off the skate of Rounds and on goal. Kappelmaster with an alert save is able to cover. That was a bit of a tricky play. As a goaltender, you're usually not expecting the puck to bounce off your defenseman's skate and turn on goal, and that's what happened. Eric Yeager in the face-off circle lost it, and Troy York goes after it. So Carson Kelly had his stick swept off his hands, and he has to go to the bench for a new one. Garrett Van Wy pushes it towards an empty corner. Berardinelli taking Kelly's place. Clark goes off the back of the net with it. Zimmerman slips it ahead for Hogan Davidson. Plays it off the glass. Gets past Noah Gilraith. Dalton in his stead picks up possession. Dalton retreats and backhands it up the boards there, and it's picked up by Eric Yeager. Goes up the far half wall. Reisinger's knocked off of it, or that's Van Wy rather. Russell picks it up. Far corner in the Lone Star zone. He battles for it with Cameron Clark. Russell pushes it in deep. Yeager's got it. He has to pivot away from John Zimmerman. Knocked loose once more. Russell back for Zimmerman. Zimmerman for the Lone Star Brahmas tries to find a way to work this puck out of his own zone. Tries to split the ice with a pass, and Reisinger did not hold the blue line as it bounced out towards the line, just crossed over the line, so an offside call is made. 3 minutes into period 2, no shots have been fired for either side. We're still scoreless here at the K. Yeager Coliseum in a tightly contested matchup between two South Division powerhouses here in the Wildcats and the Lone Star Brahmas. Dalton Skelly. Oscar Andren now gains the line, sets up Melberg, left wing side, backdoor for Skelly. He's in, pad save, Kappelmaster. As Poikala pushes it ahead for Nikita Litviak on his off wing. Litviak dumps it in deep, goes after it himself. Manages to elude Kaspersky. He nearly knocked him down. Andren stripped of it by Hines, but the Brahmas push it out to center. Gilraith fires it right back in, goes into an empty corner, which is now occupied by Dalton Skelly, who took a hit from behind by Nikita Litviak along the corner wall. Skelly will push it back up the wall. Melberg is pinned to the boards there. Comes free, and Estes has got it. Brandon Estes had his pocket pick there and fell down. The Brahmas cough it up at center ice. Holden Cronin deals it on back for Alexei Poikala. Poikala gives it to Matt Hines. Hines will try to wheel and deal his way through a couple of Lone Star Brahmas, turns it over, and it's a 3-on-1. Peter Kessel in, shoots, missed the net high as it rattles off the glass and goes back out to center. That's not something we're used to seeing Matt Hines do. He just decided to try to lead the rush himself. He's definitely more of a stay-at-home type of defenseman. I think some of the Wildcats were stunned at what he was trying to do there and got caught watching the puck. Ended up being a 3-on-1 against, and the Brahmas nearly capitalized. So Jeff Baum now at center ice, gains the red line and fires it in. Goes around the end boards. Burnett is after it. Collides with Suominen. Goodsir pushes it back to his billet mate. Rounds, whose shot redirected wide by Beaulieu. Picked up far half board, sent down low from Burnett to Beaulieu. Beaulieu is closed off along the corner wall. Gilraith holds it in left point. Goodsir picks it up, plays it towards the corner again. Beaulieu gives him a nice return feed. Goodsir ran into some traffic there in Suominen, and here come the Brahmas. Kyle Patava skates in after it. Jeff Baum's going to beat him to it in the foot race. Baum is pinned up. He pushes it along the boards to his fellow veteran, Austin Beaulieu, and the Cats escape their own zone. Johnny Lazarus carries it down his off wing with some speed, puts on the brakes and surveys, goes rink wide, rounds his one-timer, missed the net. Lazarus picks it up, far corner, has to turn away from John Zimmerman. Zimmerman pinning Lazarus to the wall now. Pushed in behind the net. Madej tries to one-hand it ahead, bounces up in the air, it's loose, they chop at it, and finally it's taken out of harm's way by Matt Christian. Here's Peter Bates trying to dance his way in. That's Kyle Patava, rather. It's pushed back out to center. Zimmerman has to regroup. He'll just fire it back in. Dalton into the slot. Gilraith off the boards, and Rourke Russell will regain possession. Russell down the far side. Albrecht goes rink wide back for Jake Dalton. Dalton had gained the red line and fires it back into the Lone Star zone. Cameron Clark, the Brahmas' top defenseman, will wheel and deal his way ahead. Goes rink wide on a pass for Troy York and across the line. Sets up Kelly, and an offside whistle is blown. Boy, that was a late call. The Brahmas removing the puck well there. Carson Kelly had a point-blank chance on Justin Kappelmaster, but the offside whistle killed their buzz. And the face-off will ensue now at center ice. The linesman Brett Hummel will drop the puck. Yeager wins it pretty cleanly. Cronin picks it up, tries to send it ahead for Yeager. It was a bit beyond his reach. Van Wy turns it back into the Lone Star zone. Yeager turns on the gas. He's closed off the puck by Brandon Estes. Estes pushing and shoving Yeager. Now Wickline working for it along with Garrett Van Wy. Still in deep. Yeager knocks it free. He's trying to get it to Matt Hines, and Estes preventing him from doing so. Yeager slams it off the end boards. Van Wy has to chase it down. Near corner, has a man open at the point, gives it to him. It's going to be Hines. His shot went off of a skate. I believe it was Oscar Andrins, and it bounced out of play. .13:34 remaining in period two. The Wildcats have yet to register a shot on goal this period. The Brahmas have but one. Still no score in the game. 8-6 the shots favoring the Cats. And a very low shooting game. Not a lot of chances for either side. There have been a few pretty good chances, but they've all been denied by the goaltenders. Long shot from Baum from the blue line, missed the net. Picked up by Brandon Estes, who will, that's Bud Madej rather. He gains the blue line, takes a long shot. Easy pad save, Kappelmaster. Suominen's follow-up shot. Didn't get all the way through, and Rounds will pick it up. Chopped at there by Jeff Baum and out to center. Nikita Litviak grabs hold of the puck. Pinned to the half wall by Alex Berardinelli. Wrapped in deep there by Max Reisinger. Poikle is waiting for it at the right point, who tries to push it loose. Taken in behind by Max Reisinger. Reisinger pivots every which way. Sets up Litviak behind the net. Tries a stuff attempt from behind the goal, and a rebound is stopped again by Kaspersky. His first Save of the period, and it's a dandy. Peter Kessel deals on for Joey Fallon. Fallon takes it wide on Jeff Baum, slips it in front, missed the intended target there, and Peter Kessel. Long lead pass ahead was intercepted by Zimmerman. Zimmerman wraps it in back into the Wildcat zone, and it's going to be corralled by Michael Rounds. Rounds sends it rink wide for Poikula. Poikula bounces it further there for Austin Beaulieu. Beaulieu gains the Brahmas line. He delays, waits for some of his line mates to change, and he pushes it in deep. John Zimmerman picks off the pass from Beaulieu and shoots it out to center. Gilraith jumps and gloves it down. Gilraith's pushed off the puck, and the Wildcats recover. Gilraith chops at it back to center. Christian hammers it back in. It pops over the stick of Kappelmaster, picked up by Noah Gilraith and dealt on for Dalton. Jake Dalton, the Bowling Green State University commit. He will play there in 2017. Gives it across the ice for Austin Beaulieu. He surveys, plays a saucer pass across the ice, bounced away from Goodsir. He recovers, played it off Gilraith's glove, who kept it in the zone momentarily, but the Brahmas are right back out to center ice with it. Now it's given on back to John Zimmerman. To the right wing side for Matt Christian. Banked off the boards on a nice pass for Carson Kelly. He holds and shoots. Pad save Kappelmaster. Kelly gets the rebound and tries to center. Goes all the way back door for Cameron Clark at the left point. Goes in behind the net now with it. The Brahmas trying to cycle the wagons a little bit here. Carson Kelly battling for possession along with Adam Goodsir, who is dispossessed of the puck by Hogan Davidson. Lazarus coughs it up to Troy York. York keeps the play alive as his line mates look to make changes. Dalton goes back around the far half wall. It's picked up by Austin Albrecht, who goes across for Johnny Lazarus. Lazarus, right wing side, will try to drop it off for Albrecht. Bounced off Davidson's skate. Albrecht goes back down low. Good pass off the boards for Lazarus. Sets up Gilraith, who one-times it from the point and just missed the short side. Kept in near side. Cronin plays it in deep. Rosa's down there battling for it along with two Brahmas. Puck clear to the near corner. Cronin pinches over to play it. Gets it in deep away from Carson Kelly. Rosa being outnumbered there by a couple of Lone Star Brahmas. Hogan Davidson lost possession. Rosa goes after it, and the Brahmas are finally able to clear out to center ice as Carson Kelly gets it beyond the reach of Matt Hines. Cronin is back defensively. Matt Hines will shoot it up the boards. The Wildcats could have a 3-on-2. Adam Goodsir down the left wing side, drops it off, and that fooled Austin Albrecht, who was not expecting it, and that has killed the Wildcats' rush. Oscar Andrin wins possession and plays it in deep for Bud Madej. Madej shoots the puck out to neutral ice. Garrett Van Wy is caught offside. Ten minutes and 16 seconds remain in period two. Some urgency you can sense here in the KYC. Fans maybe getting a little bit restless here, but there's definitely a buzz here in the building. The Wildcats have had a bit of a surge the last few minutes. The fans here hungry for a Wildcats goal. Garrett Van Wy takes the place of Eric Yeager. Samu Suminen will drop it off for Brandon Estes. Estes feathers one ahead for Joey Fallon. Fallon gains the Wildcats line. Gets it back himself, takes a shot, waffle boarded by Kappelmaster. That was a tough save as Fallon shot it right between Hines' skates, or bombs rather. The Wildcats have to delay. Van Wy's on a delayed offside. Yeager with a good smart play, regains the line, takes it wide and hammers a slap shot that missed the net and hit the glass. It's going to be picked up by Peter Kessel on the right half boards. Could have a 3-on-2. Kessel down the right wing side. Russell back checks. Kessel's shot stopped by Kappelmaster, and he covers it at the side of the goal. 9 minutes and 40 seconds remain in period two. That's going to be the 10th shot on goal for the Lone Star Brahmas, who have just passed the Wildcats in the shots department. But they've got nothing to show for it, nor do the Wildcats. We're still scoreless here midway through regulation time at the KYC. So now a defensive zone face-off will be taken by the Wildcats, and it looks like somebody jumped the gun down there, so they're going to try this again. Poikula being swapped out for the longest tenured Wildcat, Max Reisinger, who wins the face-off. Nikita Litviak carries behind the net, played it dangerously in front of the goal, And that play will not sit well with the Wildcats coaching staff. Looks like Kapellmaster's a little bit stung again here, folks. He is in some discomfort down there in the blue paint. Not sure what hit Kapellmaster there, but he is in some serious distress right now. And again, Brian Deathridge going over to console him. And this time it looks a little bit worse than before. Kapellmaster now skating to the Wildcats bench. No, to the dressing room. Something must be seriously wrong, folks. Kapellmaster is heading right off the ice. Deathrage now running after him. Symes got all of his equipment on. Julian Symes gonna jump into the game, it looks like. No question about it this time. I'm not sure what Nikita Litviak was thinking on that play. He had the puck in behind the net, and for whatever reason just carried it right in front of Kapellmaster with no apparent purpose. Or at least not one that I could see. Looks like a couple of offsetting roughing penalties will be assessed. We hope the best for Justin Kapellmaster and hope he's able to return to this game. As Clark hammers a one-time shot from the blue line, and a good glove save is made by Syme. Very good, smart play by Cameron Clark, a very, very good defenseman for Coach Dan Wildfong and the Lone Star Brahmas, who wasted no time testing Julian Syme, who's fresh off the bench and still cold. Didn't even get any chances to warm up. Brahmas know they've got to get shots on him early and often as much as possible. Martin Melberg overskates it. Wickline picks it up in the corner. The Brahmas look like they're playing with purpose now. Pass back to the left point. Clark holds and shoots. Was blocked by Ryan Burnett. Clark keeps it in. A good play. Wickline looks for a lane to get it to Melberg. Just plays it in deep instead. Melberg off the wall with it. Plays it to his backhand and wraps it in deep. Goodsir ties up Cody Wickline. Pushed back in the direction of Melberg. Intercepted by Dalton and given to Ryan Burnett. 3 consecutive Michigan natives play the puck. Noah Gilraith tries to get it ahead. Pushed back out to center at the red line. Gilraith guns it down. Gilraith slips it ahead, hoping for his fellow Michiganite, Ryan Burnett. It popped over his stick. Zimmerman regains possession. Zimmerman's pushed off the puck. Good forecheck by Austin Bolio. Zimmerman's got it back now in his own zone. Carries it in deep behind the Brahmas net. Slips a backhand pass across the ice on a D-to-D pass. Played back out to center. Looks like the Brahmas nearly had too many men on the ice. They're not going to get called for it, but the Cats send it back the other way. Albrecht shoots. He scores! He was set up by Holden Cronin there from the right circle. Albrecht with a beautiful shot high on the glove side of Corbin Kaspersky. Finally, the Wildcats have opened the scoring, and it's 1-0. And this place is electrified. Welcome back, Holden Cronin. He missed so many games to start the year. He was battling concussion-like symptoms all season long. He's only played in 6 games, including last night this season for the Wildcats. Other than last night, the last time he had played, October 23rd against the Lone Star Brahmas. Quite some time ago. But he's got an assist to his credit tonight. A primary assist on Albrecht's goal, which is his 16th of the season, but it looks like the Wildcats finally are going to be short-handed here tonight for the first time this evening. We'll see what they can do on the Parkway Grill penalty kill as the Brahmas cycle the puck. It's sent back to the deep slot for Cameron Clark. Cody Wickline does a head fake, sets up Oscar Andren in the slot, carries it to his forehand and didn't have a clean angle to shoot the puck, so he has to go back to the point. Cameron Clark walks the line, dishes it off. Wickline slap pass side of the goal. Madej shoots, blocker saves Syme. Picked up near corner. Van Wy trying to clear. Sent back to the point, held in Clark. Clark guides it across the ice there. Bud Madej shoots on goal. Redirected, stopped by Syme. It's loose in the blue paint, and a quick whistle denies the Lone Star Brahmas from getting another shot away. And How about the play of Julian Syme coming in fresh off the ice, stone cold coming into this game, and now, speaking of, Justin Kapelmaster has just skated back onto the bench. We'll see if he'll be allowed back in this game or if he can play. And it looks like a penalty will be called against Oscar Andren here, folks. There was quite the puck battle going on in the blue paint on that last play. Julian Syme made the save. There was a net mouth scramble there, and I believe one of the referees, or one of the officials rather, saw Andren slash Julian Syme or one of the other players on the ice. So we're going to go to some 4-on-4 hockey here for the next 80 seconds or so. Brandon Estes pushes it back deep into the Lone Star zone. Goodsir jimmies it loose. Picked up by Baum, who fanned on the pass at the right point. Has to recover in his own zone, or in the neutral zone rather. Plays it towards the near side corner. Fired out there by Corbin Kaspersky. Held in right point Beaulieu. Dishes for Baum. His long shot. Batted down there by the stick of Brandon Estes. Knocked off his stick by Austin Beaulieu. Beaulieu had it poked away, and it's picked up by Alex Berardinelli. Berardinelli ever so speedy and ever so crafty. Tried to deke his way past Michael Rounds. No luck with that, and Baum dishes it back for Rounds. Rounds gives it to Austin Beaulieu. Beaulieu gains the blue line. Tries to shoot. It stung Bud Midday. Hit him in a place you don't want to be hit, and then a follow-up hit was dished on from Goodsir to Berardinelli, but here come the Brahmas. Michael Rounds takes Joey Fallon right out of the play. Berardinelli heads to the Lone Star bench for a line change. Meanwhile, Noah Gilraith leads the rush back the other way, drops it off left side for Adam Goodsir, or Austin Albrecht rather. Albrecht regains possession, pushes it in deep, goes into the corner, and Joey Fallon ends up with it. His pass beyond the reach of Martin Melberg. Sent back from Rosa to Jake Dalton. Noah Gilraith's got it now. Gilraith slides it through the blue paint, and the Wildcats now have a Jim Arnold collision power play to work with for the next 25 seconds. Lazarus does a head fake, cuts into the far circle, plays it in deep for Nick Rosa behind the Brahmas net, and Lone Star is able to clear the puck down. Look out, big bad turnover. Davidson's shot, right pad saved by Syme. Reisinger into the offensive zone, fired a long-range shot that missed on the blocker side of Corbin Kaspersky, and it's played back in deep, and both teams' power plays have concluded. A wraparound try from Litviak was snuffed out by Brandon Estes. Played behind the goal once more. Litviak's got it on his backhand, has to pivot away from Estes. Litviak is sealed off the end boards by Hogan Davidson. Wrapped back around the glass. Going for it now is Michael Rounds. Held in beautifully by Max Reisinger, who saved a 2-on-1. Skelly intercepted the shot. Skelly out to center, hoping for Davidson. It missed him. No icing here, so Syme will play the puck. Goes off the far half wall, picked up by Baum, who tries to clear. Held in Kessel. He's got a man in the trailer, but he shoots instead. Missed the net high. How many times have we said that tonight? Kessel just can't seem to hit the net. Kessel plays it in deep now. Jeff Baum picks it up for the Wildcats. Alexei Poikula back for Baum. 4.5 minutes remaining. The Wildcats leading 1-0 with just a dozen shots on goal. Held in, deep slot. Wickline coughs it up. Poikula's got it near half wall. Poikula doing some fancy stick work in front of his own goal. Plays it in behind the net now for Jeff Baum, who goes D-to-D for Rounds. Rounds and Baum seeing a lot of time together on the defensive unit, but the Wildcats have just iced the puck. 4 minutes and 12 seconds now remain in period 2. Brought to you by American Classifieds. 1-0 the score favoring the Cats. 13-12 the shots favoring the Brahmas. Alexei Poika will trickle the puck ahead there for Rourke Russell. It was a bit beyond his reach, and Cam Clark took it instead. Good crisp puck movement by the Brahmas in their own zone. Fallon goes across there for Cam Clark. Clark will try to set up Martin Melberg down the left wing side. It went between his skates, and Russell regains possession. Long lead pass ahead, eluding Eric Yeager. Icing called against the Cats. Logan Davidson will now take an offensive zone faceoff, but he's stymied by Eric Yeager. Cronin tries to take a chop to get it out of the zone. It bounced off a Brahmas skate. Yeager battling for it now with Davidson. Davidson tripped up, sent back to the point. Estes fires a long shot into the glove of Julian Syme. We have still not seen Kappelmaster go back onto the ice after he took that slash, I believe. That's what happened. He took a slash, but all I know for a fact is that he went down immediately after the net mouth scramble ensued after Litviak carried the puck in front of the net. Ryan Burnett behind his own goal. Gives a cross for Jake Dalton. Noah Gilraith has it. Carries it down the right wing side and gives it back to Jake Dalton again. Dalton has a look and has to peel on back. Feeds Noah Gilraith. Gilraith and Dalton now on opposite sides. Dalton plays it off the side boards in the neutral zone. Hopped away from Austin Beaulieu. Given back to Brandon Estes. Estes will backtrack in behind his own goal. Feeds Carson Kelly on the left boards, or the right boards, I should say. Kelly tried to play it off of Goodsir's, or play it beyond Goodsir. It went off his stick. Goodsir kicks it to his stick. Goodsir was onside when he dumped that puck in, so the Wildcats can get a line change. Pass goes back out to center. Austin Albrecht hammers it right back in. Corbin Kaspersky will leave it there for Carson Kelly with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in period 2, and the Wildcats leading 1-0. Skelly gains the blue line and fires it around the half boards. Puck bounces back to center, chopped at there by Dalton Skelly and fired right back in. Julian Syme will leave it behind his own net. Johnny Lazarus plays it ahead for Austin Albrecht, trying to gain positioning there on Suminen. Dropped off for Lazarus. He's the trailer. Poked off his stick. Picked up by Baum. Baum dances his way in near circle. Fans on the shot. Swept at there by Peter Bates, but no luck. Finally, the Brahmas get the puck out of the defensive zone. Andren went off Baum's skate with it. Picked up by Peter Bates in behind the Wichita Falls net. Taken by Jeff Baum and given to Johnny Lazarus. Lazarus's pass missed Nick Rosa. No icing here. Bud Midday back to touch up the puck. 80 seconds remain in the period. The Cats lead 1-0, and the Brahmas fire it into the Wichita Falls zone and go for a partial line change. Around the far half boards it goes. Reisinger tries to get it out. No luck. DDD pass off the near half board. Suminen turns one towards the net. It was blocked by Litviak, who will skate it out of harm's way. Michael Rounds will bring it back into his own territory. Matt Hines. Here's Nikita Litviak now, right wing side. He was given a pass from Reisinger. Litviak powers his way in behind the net. Will try to leave it out for Alexei Poikala. 4 of the 5 Brahmas now behind the Lone Star goal. Litviak will try to knock it loose. Kessel will shoot it up the boards, but not out. Held in Noah Gilraith. Pushed in deep behind the goal. Litviak goes for it, collides with Suminen. Litviak on his backhand, centered a shot, blocked. That was a headhunter for Max Reisinger. Litviak pushed down again. He's outnumbered 2-1 down there. Reisinger jimmies it loose, turns one in front. And fanning on it there was Garrett Van Wy, or Matt Hines, I should say, and the Brahmas escape with no harm done. Kyle Pataba negotiates his way into the offensive zone. Kessel's shot sticked away there by Alexei Poikala. The last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn & Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats. We're now 16 and a half seconds removed from our second intermission. The Wildcats with a 1-0 lead, 13-14 the shots on goal, trailing the Lone Star Brahmas, who now have an offensive zone faceoff opportunity to get the game tied heading into period 3. Joey Fallon to take the draw against Eric Yeager. Yeager wins the draw. Berardinelli gets it, however. Sends a backhand pass towards Mellberg, who scores. What a pass by Alex Berardinelli from his backhand in behind the net. He set up Martin Mellberg for a beautiful one-time shot, and the Lone Star Brahmas have tied this game late in period 2. That's Martin Mellberg's 7th goal of the season, his 19th point. And that was quite the shot. And that will give the Brahmas the momentum they needed going into period 3, as we're just 2.5 seconds away from our second intermission. Goodser wins the draw. Time for one last shot. Was blocked from Hines, and that's going to do it. Period 2, brought to you by American Classifieds, has come to an end. 1-1 now the score. Both goals coming in this period. The first from Albrecht, the second from Mellberg. And we go into period 3, all deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. And we're going to try again with that interview from John LaFontaine yesterday, which didn't quite work out. Hopefully we can get it situated, get it figured out here up in the broadcaster's booth. I'm Alex Von Koitel, bringing you Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Again, for our second intermission report, we're going to try again with this interview with John LaFontaine before giving you your out-of-town scoreboard update. Stay tuned. Welcome, Wichita Falls Wildcats fans. Hope you're enjoying your day. I'm Alex Von Koitel, the voice of your Wichita Falls Wildcats, and I'm joined by Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine. Coach, really appreciate your time.
Anytime, buddy. Anytime, Alex.
So, Coach, quite the season you guys are having. This might be the best hockey the Wildcats have ever played. 9 straight wins ever since the home loss against Topeka over a month ago. The team has looked incredible. Did that loss serve an important purpose in maybe giving the guys a bit of a reality check?
Well, it's interesting because a 9-game winning streak, but early in that was a 2-second tying goal and then a overtime goal, so that could have stopped the streak pretty quickly. Amarillo, close game, a couple obviously close games against Lone Star, and they're very top. But the guys are playing very strong. They're playing together, and I think that loss was probably a good point. They didn't leave a good taste in their mouth. our first loss at home, and I think the guys knew that they really took it to us. We didn't deserve to win that game, and want to get in that position again. So good for them.
Speaking of Topeka, how about their play of late? They also have 9 straight wins. The last time they lost was against the Wildcats in that same weekend. I seem to recall you knowing Topeka was going to turn things around after a bit of an average start to their campaign this year. How did you know this was coming?
Well, we played them early, and then we watched them a couple times in the Blaine showcase, and you could see they were right there. And then they had to go on a run to play a really tough, really good Springfield team, and played them 8 or 10 times. They got to play them again this weekend, but you could just see that they kept getting over the hump against them. They kept splitting, and then you just knew that they were going to be a good team. Scott Langer does a great job every year. Topeka's at or near the top, and they're tough to play against. His teams play, compete hard. They don't give you a lot. They're right in your face. So they play a lot like we do. We're very similar teams, and so you just knew that they were going to get it together. And of course, Scott wasn't with the team for the first couple months because of a really bad case of pneumonia. So he's now getting to be with them on a consistent basis as of a couple months ago, and they've shown that.
A rivalry is certainly worth keeping an eye on in the coming months. Both teams playing exceptional hockey of late, and of course the recent history between itself. Turning our attention now to another rival, the Lone Star Brahmas. Talk about a grind. You're approaching mid-season. They've got the stingiest team, really, or defense, I guess you could say, in the league. They've allowed fewer goals than anyone up to this point in the season, and now you guys are playing them 6 games in a row. So you say this might be the biggest challenge the Wildcats will face this season, schedule-wise?
I would think so, Alex. We this will be number 7, 8, and 9 against them this half. We do have a stretch in the second half we looked at that where we got to go to Topeka, go to Odessa for 3, and then come back and play Topeka again. So that might be as tough as it gets as well. But no, playing them 6 in a row, it doesn't get any tougher. They're just so tough to play against, and you hit it on the button. They don't allow much opportunity. They're very tough to play against. They're very tough to generate much offense against. So we feel fortunate, so far against them, and if you just let up just a little, they will take advantage of it. So we're going to have to play the same, if not better, this weekend to have success against them.
On the head there, Coach. This is a Brahmas team that's very adamant about the way it plays. They're well coached. They're very disciplined, and they've dominated some other teams around the league that they've played this year. For example, they're 9-1 against the Amarillo Bulls this season, but they're just 1-4-1 against the Wildcats. It seems like you guys might have their number this season. What is it about the Wildcats that has helped them gain a level of success that no other team has been able to do in recent memory against this team?
I can tell you the first goal is huge in any game that you see. When we lost earlier to Amarillo, they got the first couple and we just couldn't come back, and it was the same against Topeka. Getting that first goal is huge, and we've been fortunate enough to be ready to play in the first period, and we've been fortunate enough to get that first goal, and that seems to determine the game a lot from there, because then there's a little bit of panic to try to get it back on the other side. So we've got to continue to come out ready to play, and hopefully be able to get that first one in.
And stand coming up against the Brahmas today, Friday and Saturday night. Your first 3-game homestand or series even this season, and it comes against who's clearly frustrated of late, especially with you guys. What are your thoughts on this weekend?
I mean, it's going to be a carryover from last weekend. They really turned it up a notch on Saturday. They came at our net hard, and they've made some adjustments that make it very tough to play. They like to cut back in the offensive zone now, and they're really good at finding the other side of the ice, and they exploited us a little bit this past weekend, and we were fortunate to get some big saves at timely moments, and then the guys slowly adjusted, and I thought we had some good third that up. They're going to be firing on all cylinders. They're not a team that is used to, I don't know if they lost 2 games in a row all last year, and so for them, we're going to see their best shot this weekend for sure.
Well, we hope to see your best shot this weekend as well. We know you guys won't disappoint. Lots of church youth groups expected to be in attendance Thursday night. We're very much looking forward to that, of course, to hosting them and entertaining them, and of course the fans on Friday and Saturday night as well. So, Coach, again, we really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, and welcome back to the KYC, folks, to our Fast Hockey viewers. We hope you enjoyed that interview with Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine. Again, we tried to play it your way yesterday, had a bit of a technical malfunction here. We're happy to know that from the sounds of it, at least, it worked this time around. And for our YouTube listeners, welcome back to the broadcast tonight. We're about halfway through our second intermission. The score all knotted up at 1 goal apiece. It's been a much more evenly played contest tonight. And I know that's not saying much given the way last night shaped out, but it's been a pretty exciting game to watch up till now. It's a lot more representative of the two teams and who they really are and how the season series was expected to be like going into this season. 15-13 the shots on goal in favor of the Lone Star Brahmas. And now for your out-of-town scoreboard update. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs, as was mentioned in the first intermission, have defeated the New Jersey Titans in New Jersey tonight. So Fairbanks continues to climb up the standings and are really the only team who is in striking distance of the Wildcats, league-leading 828 point percentage. The Cats still first in the North American Hockey League in that department. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs creeping up on them ever so slowly. Kenai River Brown Bears, the Ice Dogs' rivals, lost tonight against the Aston Rebels in Aston, Pennsylvania. So both Alaska teams are out on the East Coast playing different teams. The New Jersey Titans losing to the Ice Dogs and the Aston Rebels defeating the Kenai River Brown Bears. Cooley Region hosting the Minnesota Magicians tonight. 1-1 the score of that game. Jackson Charlesworth scored on the power play to get the score going for the Cooley Region Chill late in period 2 at the 16:32 marker. And then in the third period, Brady Hepner scored the lone goal for the Magicians up till this point. So that game tied up at 1. 2-0 remains the score for the Amarillo Bulls against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays for your South Divisional scoreboard update. Looks like the Ice Rays turned the things around in the second period. They outshot the Bulls 11-5. The shots are nearly even, 23-22 Amarillo, but the Bulls still have a 2-0 edge in the game. No surprises. Anton Martinson in between the pipes for Matt Nicholson and the Bulls, and he has stopped all 22 shots he has faced, one of the better goaltenders in the North American Hockey League. Minnesota Wilderness playing in Austin, Minnesota against the Bruins, the NAHL's Robertson Cup rematch tonight in Austin, Minnesota. Still no score after 2 periods of play up there, so it's been a closely contested game, much like this one. At least in this one, there's been some scoring. Springfield hosting the Topeka Roadrunners in Illinois' capital. The Junior Blues and Roadrunners tied up at 3 goals apiece at the Nelson Center in Springfield, Illinois. Topeka scored the first goal. Quinn Preston opened the scoring at the 15:45 mark of period 1. He was quickly answered by Trevor Stone. That concluded period 1 scoring. Topeka would score 2 unanswered to make the score 3-1. Dominic Lutz and Sammy Tavernier would tally home goals early in period 2. Springfield answered. Sam Craigs and Matt Long would each tally goals of their own. So Springfield now with 2 unanswered goals of their own, both scored in period 2. That game now in its second intermission. We'll be sure to keep you updated on that one as it progresses and let you know if the Topeka Roadrunners can become the first team tonight to reach 10 consecutive wins all season long in the North American Hockey League. Brookings playing the Aberdeen Wings up in South Dakota, a South Dakota matchup. 2-1 the score in favor of the Aberdeen Wings. Both Wings goals scored by Tucker DeYoung. The lone Brookings goal scored by Logan Rivard. 15:05 into the second period. So 2-1 the score at the Odie Ice Center up in Aberdeen, South Dakota. That game in its second intermission as well. And finally, the Bismarck Bobcats taking on the Minot Minotauros up in Minot, North Dakota, the Mesa Arena. Still no score in that game, which is now more than halfway through. And former Wildcat Parker Mismash playing tonight for the Brookings Blizzard. Been held without a shot up till this point. And again, as always, best of luck to Wildcat alumni Parker Mismash in his future hockey endeavors. That's going to wrap things up for our out-of-town scoreboard. We've got about 6.5 minutes remaining before third period action brought to you by American Classifieds is underway. In the meantime, we're going to take another short break here from the K. Yeager Coliseum. We'll be back to bring you third period action and so much more in about 6 minutes. Stay tuned. And welcome back, folks. We're just seconds away from third period action, brought to you by American Classifieds. An update in goal. Justin Kappelmaster still sitting on the bench, so his night, it appears, is over. So the question mark that was is no longer. Kappelmaster will sit the remainder of this game. Julian Syme playing in his stead, and play continues. And it looks like it will be an early penalty against the Wildcats, a boarding penalty, or a cross-checking against Adam Goodser, who just looks like he barreled into Joey Fallon in front of the Wildcats bench. So that's going to give the Lone Star Brahmas their second power play opportunity of the night. First one was cut short by a penalty they took themselves. Goodser is going to have a seat. I believe that's good. No, Goodser is still on the ice. That's Nikita Litviak over there, I believe. And the penalties for checking from behind. Madej loses his stick. It's given back to the point for Oscar Andrin. Cameron Clark back into the high slot. Long shot from straight away. Trickles towards the net. And Wickline fans on it. Goodser fails to clear it. Mellberg backhands it towards the right point. Clark's got it. Walks the line and holds. Clark dishes for Mellberg. Tried to pass one into the slot. Went off a couple of Wildcat sticks. Cam Clark jumps over to the near boards to keep the puck alive. A five-man battle ensues for possession. Now a six-man battle that's equally divided. Andrin joining the fray. Comes loose to Clark, who tries to send it across. It trickles over the line, and the Brahmas are now on a delayed offside as Bud Madej tries to play it from his knees. Goodser takes a hit there from Oscar Andrin. Martin Mellberg back the other way. Negotiates his way into the Wichita Falls zone. Pushes it to himself off the half wall. Backhands one around the boards. Patava's going to pick it up. Patava near wall, backhands it towards the near point. Dalton Skelly walks the line, gives it across on the tape for Carson Kelly. Rink-wide pass for Patava, his long shot. Not sure where it is, and it's loose in the blue paint and cleared out to Garrett Van Wy, who gets it beyond the reach of Cameron Clark. Clark having to double back into his own zone. Clark takes it all the way behind his own net. The Wildcats looking pretty solid on this Parkway Grill penalty kill, their second of the night. Cameron Clark will lead the rush. He's been out there the entire power play. Court's possession there, courtesy of Garrett Van Wy. Hines wraps it back around the boards, but not out. Held in right point. Patava's long slap shot missed the net wide on the short side. Van Wy with tons of time will skate this puck out of the Wichita Falls zone. And he has a blowout at center ice. But the Brahmas are right back into the attacking zone. Pass back to the trailer. Berardinelli's shot pad save. Rebound covered up by Simon, held. And that's going to kill off the last few seconds of the Parkway Grill penalty kill as Michael Rounds rejoins his teammates on the ice. It was Rounds who took the cross-checking penalty. My apologies, not Adam Goodser. And the Cats improved to 2 for 2 on the Parkway Grill penalty kill tonight. So now Nick Rosa will take a defensive zone draw against Joey Fallon, and he wins it pretty cleanly. Johnny Lazarus picks it up and skates it down the left wing. Dishes for Austin Albrecht. Fired back into the Cat zone. Jeff Baum gloves it down. Fallon has to turn away there from Nick Rosa. Looks like he fell down and hit his mask against the, or his visor against the bench. That can't feel good. Brandon Estes now gains the red line. Shoots it around the corner board. Syme will drop it off dangerously. A wraparound try from Berardinelli didn't work out. Fortunately for the Wildcats, as Lazarus shoots a rink-wide pass in the direction of Austin Albrecht, streaking down the left wing side. He's hauled down and took an awkward tumble into the boards and behind the net. Hopefully Albrecht is okay after that. That didn't look like it felt too great. Albrecht bats the puck down center for Rosa, who missed the net on the wide side. On the left side, Gilraith turns and banks it off the glass and behind the goal. And Berardinelli will play it back out to center. Dalton helped him out there. It looks like he played it backwards. Gilraith pushes it around the boards, and Troy York sends it across the ice. Davidson to the backhand pass to the point for Suominen. Suominen wraps it around the end wall. Gilraith going after it. Comes together with Kelly, and what have we here? Looks like there might have been an illegal line change on the part of the Wildcats. Goodsir will take another defensive zone draw, this time against Peter Kessel, and Goodsir wins it. Bolio gives it away, far point, a long slap shot into the glove of Julian Syme. Bud Madej taking the shot. The Brahmas now with 18 shots on goal this game. The Wildcats with just 14, but the game is all tied up at 1 goal apiece. Julian Syme has stopped 8 of the 9 shots he has faced. Both he and Kappelmaster have faced 9 shots each. And Peter Kessel jumped the gun on the face-off, so he's going to have to be replaced by Kyle Pataba. The 12s converge in the face-off circle. The 12 in black won the draw. Cam Clark, right point, takes a long shot, redirects wide of the net, but just barely. Pataba slips it back to the far point. Madej holds it in. And I believe the puck went off the stick or skate of Adam Goodsir and out of play. 16:14 to play in period 3, 1-1 the score. Brahmas now with 19 shots showing in this game. And this third period is brought to you by American Classifieds. And again, folks, to anyone listening out there, go ahead and shoot the Wildcats. Oh, that's a goal for the Brahmas. A good wrist shot from the slot. It looks like Cody Wickline had all the time in the world to let that shot go. And he buries it for the Lone Star Brahmas, making it 2-1. And boy, they are fired up after that one. It's going to be Bud Madej with his second goal of the series. The Brahmas have their first lead of the game, and it's 2-1. Next, Reisinger gains the blue line, tries to slip it in front. It went off the stick of Brandon Estes and into the near corner. Estes is closed off by Reisinger, who tries to center, went off the helmet of Dalton Skelly and pops in loose. Goes deep behind the net, picked up by Litviak, who turns with it. Away from Davidson, knocked off the stick of Reisinger, corralled by Jeff Baum. On his backhand, feathers it in deep off the skate of Litviak. He pivots away from Dalton Skelly, takes it in deep, tries a wraparound on the backhand, pad save Kaspersky. Litviak chops it back to the point, Rounds holds it in, and it looks like he had carried the puck over the line, so an offside whistle is blown by the linesman, Michael Fasani. Gilraith sends it D to D now for Jake Dalton. Splits the ice for Garrett Van Wy. Played off the skate of John Zimmerman and back out to center ice. Noah Gilraith returns the pass for Jake Dalton. The Bowling Green commit played it off the stick of the Miami of Ohio commit, Rourke Russell, and into the Brahma zone. Off the near half wall, Kessel can't clear it. Yeager's long shot. Looks like it phased Zimmerman, but he blocked the shot regardless, and the Brahmas clear the puck into the Wildcat zone. Peter Kessel closes off Noah Gilraith, both of whom are battling for the puck now. Fallon falls down along the far corner boards, and Dalton ends up with it in his own zone. Jake Dalton dishes it off and goes for a line change. Corbin Kaspersky goes around the far corner boards. Rourke Russell tries to play it in deep. Kyle Patava's got it now in his own end, and he works it out to center. Kyle Patava, the Air Force Academy commit, is ruled offside by the linesman. 14:35 to go in period 3. The Brahmas now with a 2-1 lead over the Wildcats, with a late second period goal scored by Martin Melberg and an early third period goal scored by Bud Madej. Here's a rink-wide pass for Johnny Lazarus. Down the right wing side, he delays. Lazarus looks back to the point. It's kicked onto the tape there of the Lone Star Brahmas left winger, Matt Christian. He coughed it up. Christian holds right wing side, plays it in front. Having to glove it there was Peter Bates, and it was behind him, so the Wildcats turn it back the other direction as Holden Cronin leads the rush the other way on the left wing side. Cronin a long shot, in and out of the glove there of the goaltender Kaspersky. Looks like Rosa went crashing into him. And we're going to have a penalty. Rosa's going to have a seat for goaltender interference, possibly. Suominen joining him, so it looks like these penalties will offset. Now Johnny Lazarus having a word with Hogan Davidson. Love to hear what that was about. Goodsir's line now tasked with the neutral zone face-off, trying to ignite a spark in this team and in this building. We've just been pretty stunned of late by the play of the Lone Star Brahmas. Adam Goodsir's got it in the near corner. Wraps it in around the end boards. Burnett goes after it. Burnett is pushed into the corner boards by Brandon Estes. Knocked free. Beaulieu is shoved down to the ice, and a penalty will be called. Or no, the puck was played with a high stick. 13.5 minutes remaining in period 3. The Wildcats trailing the Brahmas 2-1. This is the first lead the Brahmas have had the entire game. As I was saying earlier, folks, if you'd like any shout out at any time for the remainder of this third period, go ahead and shoot the Wildcats Twitter page a tweet. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know why you're tuning in, and I'll be sure to give you a shout out before this game comes to an end. And it looks like a penalty will be called against the Lone Star Brahmas. The Wildcats have another chance on the Jim Arnold Collision power play. They're 0 for 2 tonight, as are the Lone Star Brahmas. Finally, the Cats with another big chance to get this game tied. Jeff Baum has it at the blue line, quarterbacking this power play as he so often does. Beaulieu's one-timer, right pad save. Kaspersky goes into the corner. Beaulieu knocks it loose, hoping to get it back to Baum, who slides it across. Van Wy holds and shoots, blocked by the first guy in the lane. Beaulieu picks it up, left half boards, takes it into the circle. Stick handles his way into submission a bit there. Gerardinelli going right after him. Baum holds it in, sets up a man on the far side, and Adam Goodsir. Goodsir holds, redelivers there for Jeff Baum, walks the point, takes the shot, blocked and cleared out to center and beyond. Jeff Baum goes after it. Beaulieu and Goodsir head to the bench for line changes. They're replaced by Albrecht and Lazarus, respectively. Lazarus has it and flies down the right wing side. He joins Litviakin across the line. Lazarus in the right corner. Knocked off the puck by Dalton Skelly. Played in deep for Nikita Litviak. With one hand on the puck, backhands it towards the point. Michael Rounds has it. Good soft play towards the corner. Austin Albrecht, far side, takes the shot. Pad save, rebound. Litviak goes after it. He's tripped down. Skelly after it as well. Reisinger picks it up. Centers there for Albrecht. Loose in the crease and cleared to Litviak. Backdoor play, fanned on by Reisinger on the one-timer. Rescued there and dealt on back to Rounds. He moves in, takes the shot, blocked again, and the Brahmas are able to clear. Bit of a surge here. You can sense the urgency in this building. Nikita Litviak powers his way to the goal, slips it in front, a shot. What a save by Kaspersky as it trickles towards the goal line, and the Brahmas desperately clear the puck out to center. The Wildcats can feel a comeback, but here come the Brahmas. Hogan Davidson on a 2-on-1 with Berardinelli. Backhand pass. Berardinelli shoots. What a save by Julian Syme, his best of the night. He denies Alex Berardinelli on a point-blank short-handed chance. Austin Albrecht left side holds and shoots. Stick save Kaspersky. Bounces into the far corner. Lazarus chips it in deep. Brandon Estes is first to it. Pinned to the end boards there by Rourke Russell. Albrecht trying to jimmy it loose. Out of the box now is Carson Kelly. The Brahmas are back to full strength, and they will get this puck out into neutral ice. They have cleared the puck all the way down. Andren's going to beat Gilraith in the foot race, so no icing against the Brahmas. Gilraith pinning Andren to the end boards. Dalton ends up with it. Rourke Russell coughs it up in the neutral zone. Cam Clark's got it now and hammers it around the end boards. Julian Syme trips behind his own net. Look out. Melberg tried to center it. Nobody was there, and it went off Dalton's skate regardless. Melberg pushes it around the corner. Alexi Poikla's first to it. Poikla guides it wing to wing to Ryan Burnett, who's onside. Burnett takes it towards the corner and in behind the goal. Looking for somewhere to go, centers it, a point-blank shot, and they score! Alexi Poikla slams it through the 5-hole of Kaspersky. What a heads-up pass by Ryan Burnett. This game's all tied up at 2. What a pass by Ryan Burnett to set up Alexi Poikla right in front of the Lone Star net, parked in the blue paint. Poikla is not known for his gritty play. He's a lot more of a skill guy than he is a grinder, that's for sure, but he was right in the dirty areas, doing the hard work, taking a couple of cross checks, but it was worth it. As he scores that goal in front of his mother and his sister, both in attendance tonight. His mother in all the way from Espoo, Finland. His sister in from her college out on the East Coast. So a pretty emotional night for Alexi Poikla, and that's his 5th goal of the season. His 5th goal as a Wildcat and his 18th point. Eric Yeager now pinned to the end boards by Kyle Patava. Trying to knock it loose for Van Wy, sent back door, a sharp angle bid, stopped by Kaspersky. We approach the midway point now of period 3. A big surge in momentum favoring the Wildcats, who have just rallied back from behind and tied this game at 2 goals apiece. And they have nearly leveled the score in the shots department as well. They trail 21-20 in shots, but they're tied in the score where it counts, 2-2. As Carson Kelly now skates it down the right wing. Kelly ahead, hoping for York. Went between his skates, no icing, so Syme touches it up. Cronin wraps it around the corner boards, coughed up by Kelly, picked up by Goodsir. Lead pass ahead, hoping for Burnett. He's got some speed, right wing side, takes the shot. And it knocked the stick out of the hands of Cam Clark and bounced up over the goal. And out of play. Ryan Burnett is tonight's Wichita Falls Business Product Player of the Game. He will be signing autographs after this game is over down by the skate shop, right outside the skate shop, after this game comes to an end. I'm sure there will be lots of happy folks thanking him and congratulating him for that beautiful pass he made to set up Alexi Poikla. Poikla also someone who owes that man a thank you card as well. But it won't be the thank you cards he'll be signing. It will be the Wichita Falls Business Products cards. Pretty well designed graphic of Ryan Burnett, an action shot in the background and a good headshot as well. But a nice addition to this team. He's kept his head up despite not getting as much ice time as probably he would have liked coming on board. He was the offensive player of the year for his high school team in suburban Detroit. A native of Brighton, Michigan, had some extremely good seasons with his high school. Very much a skill player. As he picks it up now, fans on the shot a little bit, held in left point Beaulieu. And Burnett obviously not getting as much ice time as he did back in high school, but making the most of it for the most part and working hard. And he's really come into his own as a player who is not just known for his skill, but for his work ethic as well. Goodsir tried to center for Beaulieu, who was a bit in behind the play, and the Wildcats have completed 2/3 of a line change. As Albright and Lazarus on the ice, only Rosa remains. Goodsir decides to stay on. Fallon takes it wide and shoots, went high and off the mesh. And I'd like to give a shout out to Mike Leslie and Carly Rounds tuning in from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, the hometown of Wildcats defenseman Michael Rounds. Thank you so much to Mike, Leslie, and Carly for tuning in and supporting the Wildcats on the Wildcats Broadcast Network. We hope you've enjoyed the game up till this point, and we hope you've enjoyed the season that young Michael Rounds has had for the Wildcats since arriving here. Another young player who has really stepped up and somebody whose role has increased periodically throughout this season. He started off as more of a seventh defenseman, but has worked his way up and is now one of the top offensive defensemen on this Wildcat squad. He's seen a lot of power play time due to his good vision, good lateral movement, and his extremely good ability to fire shots through traffic, particularly his wrist shot. Very deceptive, very accurate as well. And he's been a nice addition to a very young Wildcats defensive core. Here's Kyle Patava. Right corner board, sends it in deep, and that's Matt Christian being pinned to the end wall by Holden Cronin. Comes loose for Christian again. Christian did not play last night. He is in the lineup tonight. As Drevich, I believe, the new call-up, or call-down, I guess you could say, from the USHL is not available for the Brahmas. I believe he has some sort of injury he's nursing at the moment. Drevich had a goal in his first shot as a Lone Star Brahma in last night's game. He had a stint with a couple of USHL teams, the last of which was the Youngstown Phantoms, the new home team for Tommy Apap, former Wildcat. Now Jeff Baum takes it left wing side. Closed off by Bud Midday. Played in deep. Litviak has it there. Baum without his stick. Both players battling for that loose stick. Long shot from Rounds. Just missed the net wide on the far side. Yeager jumps over to hoping to keep the puck alive, but Suominen in full control now in his own zone. Midday on the D-to-D pass. Sends one ahead. Lurking there is Carson Kelly. Drops it off for York. His shot missed high. That one was a headhunter. Ends up back at center ice for Cam Clark. Clark fires a long shot, hoping to split the D for Hogan Davidson, who was waiting for a pass there in the neutral zone, and it missed his stick, so an icing call is the result. 6:42 remains in period 3. 2-2 the score. As Alexei Poikala has just tied this game for the Wichita Falls Wildcats and brought some life back into this building here on this Friday night. 21-20 the shots on goal, favoring the Lone Star Brahmas. Bud Midday shoots it out to center and beyond. That one going all the way down. Icing being called. Berardinelli pleading his case. Nobody's going to beat that guy in a foot race, and he knows it. Looks like Berardinelli was the first to the puck, but icing is called regardless against the Brahmas. 6.5 remain in period 3, 2-2 the score. The Wildcats with another offensive zone face-off opportunity. Goodsir, Bolio, Burnett, Rounds, and Baum on the ice. Loose puck's going to be corralled by former Wildcat Hogan Davidson, who sends it ahead. It's a 2-on-1 for the Brahmas. Peter Castle, right wing side, holds on, tries to put it in front, broken up by Jeff Baum. Good defensive play by Baum, who read that like a book. Sent into the slot, Ryan Burnett is hauled down by Cam Clark, who shoves him into the far corner boards. Goodsir helping him out now. Pushes it in deep and behind the net, and it's going to be corralled by Kyle Patava. Sends it ahead for Joey Fallon, the Princeton University commit. Stymied there at the blue line, corralled by Cam Clark at the red line, and shot in deep in behind the Wildcats net. Jacob Dalton. Austin Albrecht shot it off the hand of Nick Rosa. That phased him a little bit, but he's right back on it. Johnny Lazarus will drop it off and get the return from Albrecht. Lazarus turns in deep, hoping to get it to Rosa, but it was intercepted and given to Cody Wickline. Wickline carries down the right wing. Run into by Gilraith. Albrecht in behind the Wildcats net. Backhanding it down the right wing side. Lazarus has it there. Lazarus will try to return for Albrecht. And across the line goes Nick Rosa. Good play to his stick. Played in front, just missing Austin Albrecht, who I think he was hoping for with that backhand pass. Played in behind the net. Hopped over Albrecht's stick. Albrecht going after it now. 2-on-2 battle ensuing. Nick Rosa jimmies it free. Goes behind the Lone Star net. And the Brahmas will work this puck back out to center. Cody Wickline at the end of a shift sends it across for Martin Melberg. Melberg stick handles, backdoor pass, fanned down by Skelly. That looked like it should have been a tap-in goal. What a heads-up pass by Martin Melberg. Here's Alexei Poikala weaving his way through center ice. Played it to himself off the far sideboards. Shot it in before crossing the blue line. Max Reisinger goes to get it. The Wildcats completing their line change. And the Brahmas emerging with possession of the puck. Kyle Patava run into by Matt Hines after having just crossed the line. Coughed up to Matt Christian, who is brought down to the ice, and a penalty will be called against Alexei Poikala for tripping. And the Wildcats will return to the Parkway Grill penalty kill, the likes of which they are 2 for 2 tonight. But this is not the time to be taking penalties. 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the game, and the score all tied up at 2. And a Brahmas power play, which scored a couple of times yesterday, is going to go back to work. Joey Fallon wins the draw. Holding it there is Cam Clark. His shot didn't get through Litviak. Berardinelli swings it to the opposite side for Madej. Went off his skate. Chipped ahead there from Garrett Van Wy on the tape for Eric Yeager. Carries it down the right wing. Yeager slips it through the blue paint and wide of the goal. As Baum will just chip it back in deep and go for a line change. He's replaced by Jake Dalton. Cam Clark. Whoa, look out. Berardinelli was just brought down by Jake Dalton. That'll wake you up in the morning. Turned over and behind the net. Rounds tries to clear. Went off the skates of Oscar Andren and held in. Rounds defending Andren. He goes rink wide on the tape there for Cody Wickline, who had it swiped off his stick on a good defensive play made by Garrett Van Wy. And he will skate back to the Wildcats bench. Here's Cam Clark. November's defenseman of the month. Coughs it up after having just crossed the blue line. He likes to lead the rush right down the middle of the ice. Didn't work out for him that time. Back in across the line are the Brahmas. Oscar Andren drops it off and gets the return from Martin Melberg. Goes in deep. Dalton goes around the end boards. Melberg pushes it further back to the far point. Cameron Clark turns it further. Given to Bud Madej, near point. Madej skates it down the wall. Looks for a passing lane. Not sure where to go with it, so he just turns it back in deep. Gilraith manages to clear beyond the reach of Cam Clark. Half a minute remaining on this this Parkway Grill penalty kill, I should say. Holden Cronin mishandled the puck, and it's going to be picked up in the Wichita Falls zone. Puck one-handed across the ice on a very good play made by Kyle Pataba. Shoved off the puck there at the blue line by Nikita Litviak was Brandon Estes. Nikita Litviak regathers possession and chips it back to his defenseman Noah Gilraith, who will hammer it down the length of the ice. Stopped at the Brahmas blue line by Brandon Estes. Dealt on for Troy York. He holds and shoots. Went off the backboard. Syme hugging the far post. Given to Kyle Pataba. Pataba mishandling it a bit. Pops in deep. Pataba backhands it back to the point. Right point, that's Dalton Skelly. Skelly chops it in behind the Wildcats goal line. Peter Bates turns with it. Tries a wraparound that was blocked by Alexei Poikala, who's back on the ice, and the Wildcats have successfully killed off penalty 3 of 3, and they remain perfect on the Parkway Grill penalty kill. Puck blasted around the boards. Hogan Davidson going after it now in the Wildcat zone. He's outnumbered 4-1, so the Cats end up with it. Puck sent ahead, but not out. Good steal at the blue line by Matt Christian, who weaves his way back into the attacking zone. Carson Kelly has to pivot away from Nick Rosa. Kelly with a steal. Kelly has to turn there. And a penalty will be called again against the Wildcats, I believe. No, the net has been dislodged, so the faceoff will remain in the Wichita Falls zone. A minute and a half remaining in this game. The Brahmas didn't manage a single shot on that last power play, but they've got the momentum right now. And this puck has been in the Wildcat zone for quite some time. The 20s line tasked with taking the most critical faceoff of the night. The Wildcats' best faceoff man, Nick Rosa, wins the draw cleanly, and Jeff Baum will clear off the glass and all the way down into the Brahmas zone. Albrecht interfered with it a bit. He wanted a penalty, but isn't going to get one. Here's Cam Clark. Sets up Joey Fallon. Fallon with a little bit of speed in time. Holden takes the shot, missed it wide. Cam Clark holds it in right point, fires another shot, redirected up into the air, picked up by Fallon, who surveys his options. Bounces off the back of the goal, corralled by Nick Rosa. Rosa battling for it, swiped off his stick there by Joey Fallon, picked up by Alex Berardinelli, turns and shoots, glove save by Syme. And Michael Rounds was just hauled down to the ice by Martin Melberg after the fact. And unless a team scores in the next 63 seconds, this game will be headed to overtime. Defensive zone face-off won by the Cats. Noah Gilraith skates it down the left wing, tries to get it out to center and does. Bolio chips it all the way into the Lone Star zone. Brandon Estes for Bud Madej. Madej tries to bank it off the glass. He gets it all the way down into the Cat zone. Will this go far enough for icing? Yes, it will. Dalton is back to touch up with 44 to go on the clock. And the Cats now with a chance on an offensive zone draw. Noah Gilreath holds left point, takes a long shot that ricocheted off a couple of skates. And Oscar Andren will clear this puck into the Wildcat zone. Noah Gilreath back defensively. Adam Goodsir carries in behind his own net, takes it himself and plays it ahead for Jake Dalton, who spins with it. 22 seconds to go, and the last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn and Suites. Ryan Burnett's got it right wing side. The Cats fans buzzing for a last-second goal. Burnett from a sharp angle, missed the net wide. Held in far point. Dalton tries to turn one on goal. It missed the net just by inches. Back around the near side boards. The Brahmas chip it out to center. Christian's pursuing it. Dalton gets to it first. He'll carry it behind the Wildcats net, and that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is destined for overtime. So for the first time all season long, the Wildcats go to 3-on-3 overtime at the K. Yeager Coliseum. It's happened 3 times for the Wildcats this season. The first was at the Showcase in Blaine, Minnesota against the New Jersey Titans. The second was on October 23rd against the Lone Star Brahmas in suburban Fort Worth at the Nitec Sports Center. And there was one again the very next day. Forgot about that one. So that was the third. And then there was the Odessa Jackalopes game about a month ago that went to overtime at the Ector County Coliseum. The Wildcats' overtime record 2-1. Their shootout record 1-1. And again, they have yet to play in overtime here in this building. So we'll see how things shape out. No surprises here. Alex Berardinelli takes the ice. So the choices for both teams, the Lone Star Brahmas, Joey Fallon, Alex Berardinelli, and Cam Clark, the 3 skaters for the Brahmas. Jake Dalton, Austin Bolio, and Adam Goodsir, the 3 skaters for the Wildcats. Austin Bolio in full control now. Dishes to the right wing side for Jake Dalton, who's in across the line. Drops it back off for Bolio, who's got time. He shoots a changeup in and out of the glove. Rebound, ball back. Hander from Dalton is stopped by Kaspersky. Boy, some action right off the bat. Just 21 seconds in. A pretty good point-blank opportunity for Jake Dalton, the defenseman, who doesn't get a whole lot of looks that close to the net. Had a big chance there, and Kaspersky shut the door for his 21st save of the night. Peter Bates wins the following face-off over Adam Goodser and controls the puck now as he skates it through the middle of the ice with all kinds of time and space. He will wheel around with it in the neutral zone and feed it across for Bud Madej. Madej's pass is on the tape for Martin Melberg, who backhands one in deep. Bates goes in after it on the forecheck, tries to tie up Austin Bolio, and Jake Dalton ends up with it. The same three skaters on the ice for the Wildcats. Dalton will drop it off for the trailer in Goodser. He holds, tries to return for Dalton down low. Goal line shot from Bolio is smothered by Corbin Kaspersky. Boy, if you're not a fan of the 3-on-3, I'm not sure what to tell you, folks, because it is just so exciting to watch, even more exciting to call as a broadcaster, I'll tell you that much. Nick Rosa, Johnny Lazarus, and Michael Rounds, the three on the ice now for the Wildcats. Rounds has it now. Left point towards the corner there for Nick Rosa. Stymied by Dalton Skelly. Rosa turns and redelivers for Michael Rounds. Rounds plays it in deep. Nick Rosa is going to be first to it. Two Michigan natives and a New Yorker on the ice for the Cats, and for the Brahmas, it's Wickline, Berardinelli, and Dalton Skelly. Michael Rounds leads the rush down the right wing as the lone defenseman carries it in deep. Rounds with the backhand pass in behind the Brahmas net. Lone Star looking a bit fatigued here. Berardinelli trying to clear. Rosa pinning him up. And he's going to turn away from a check and could have a 2-on-1. He's got Wickline on the right wing side. Berardinelli holds, passes it off. Wickline's shot, missed high. It was a good pass from Alex Berardinelli, who's always a threat to shoot, but he decided to dish it off this time, and Cody Wickline missed the net high and shot it off the mesh. And that's to be expected when you're out there for as long as they were. The fatigue was starting to mount on those two. But a pretty good play regardless. Now a couple of Swedes on the ice for the Lone Star Brahmas, and Andrin wins it to Melberg. Melberg got it at the right point. Estes lurking for it in the blue, or near the blue line. Andrin coming off the wall, swaps places with Estes, and he just gives it away to Garrett Van Wy. Estes has it now in the neutral zone. He will skate it back down the left wing side, puts on the brakes. Left point, swaps with Melberg, drops it off for Andrin. Andrin can't find a lane. And he carries it back over the blue line as he was pressured by Eric Yeager. 2:45 to go in overtime. 2-2 remains the score, 23 shots apiece. Long lead pass ahead for Martin Melberg, who surveys, takes a long wrist shot from a sharp angle, and it's gloved and held by Julian Syme. Syme with another save on the night, and that's going to be a dozen for him. Or 13, rather. A Baker's dozen. Gilraith goes after it in his own zone. Chopped back to the point. Here come the Cats. Austin Bolio down the left wing. Goodser swaps places. Bolio's shot fought off with the blocker of Kaspersky. Picked up by Austin Albrecht. Dished back to the point for Bolio. And the Brahmas will take it back in their own zone. Cam Clark, November's forward of the month, just exited the ice, and Austin Albrecht, November's defenseman of the month, gave it to Alex Berardinelli. Berardinelli tries to center, went off the side of the goal. Fallon will slip it back to the point, but it's just brought over the line, so the Brahmas are on a delayed offside as they regroup in the neutral zone. 1:50 now remaining in this game. Peter Kessel slides it across, and it's going to be carried down the right wing side by Cam Clark. The defenseman leading the rush, taking the shot and scoring. Cam Clark has won the game for the Lone Star Brahmas. He shot it high on the glove side of Julian Syme, and that's going to do it. The Lone Star Brahmas have won 2 consecutive games, and for the first time this season, the Wildcats have lost 2 consecutive games. For Cam Clark, that's going to be his 4th goal of the season, his 22nd point. He's had a very impressive season, especially of late. Not very surprising to see him get the game winner. And the Wildcats have just been handed their 2nd consecutive loss for the first time this season. And the midway point of their season ends in pretty devastating fashion. We're going to take a short break. We're going to hear our 3-star selection provided by our public address announcer, Charles Campbell. Our 3 stars are presented by Kona Ice, and after that, we'll be back to break down this game for you in a bit greater detail, as well as provide you with one last out-of-town scoreboard. Stay tuned. The 3 stars were just provided by Charles Campbell, the PA announcer here at the KYC. The 3rd star of tonight's game, Alexei Poikla, who had the game-tying goal late in period 3 in front of some family here tonight. Pretty good night for him. Ryan Burnett was the guy who gave him that goal with a beautiful pass, who turned from the near half wall and centered it perfectly for him. Burnett was given the 2nd star as a result, and the 1st star of tonight's game, Cameron Clark, had the game-winning goal in overtime, showing November was not just a fluke for November's Defenseman of the Month. And that's going to do it for Kona Ice's 3 stars of the game. To break down this game a little bit better for you, Austin Albrecht got the scoring open. It took him 31 and a half minutes to do so. Halfway through period 2, Austin Albrecht sniped one high on the glove side of Corbin Kaspersky after being set up by Holden Cronin, who got an assist in his 2nd game back after a pretty long leave of absence from the team. Martin Melberg would answer very, very late in period 2 with just 9 seconds remaining. He fired home a one-timer. He was set up by Alex Berardinelli from in behind the net, so that leveled the score going into period 3 and gave the Brahmas some momentum, which they would carry over into the next period. Cody Wickline set up Bud Madej on a power play to give the Brahmas a 2-1 lead, their first lead of the night. And about 5.5 minutes later, Poikla would answer with the point-blank shot, which he fired through the 5-hole of Corbin Kaspersky after being set up beautifully by Ryan Burnett, who is tonight's Wichita Falls Business Products Player of the Game and signing autographs down near the skate shop. And Cameron Clark, the goal scorer in overtime, tonight's 1st star, ended the Wildcats' night in pretty devastating fashion. It was the first time the Wildcats all season long have been defeated twice in a row. So kudos to the Lone Star Brahmas for coming out as hard as they did tonight after the way they played last night. It's never easy on the road after embarrassing a team the way they did on Thursday night. You have to expect the very best the next day. The Wildcats played them a lot harder today than they did last night, but it just wasn't quite enough to get the win. 3-2 the final here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. For one last out-of-town scoreboard before we let you get going, 3-1 the final in New Jersey. Fairbanks defeated them. 4-1 the final in Aston. The Rebels defeated the Kenai River Brown Bears, so a couple of Alaska teams playing tonight, one with the win, one with the loss. Cooley Region up 2-1. It looks like that game just ended in the shootout. None of the former Wildcats scored in the shootout. It was Nico Luca who got the game winner up at the Green Island Ice Arena in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Amarillo has just defeated the Amarillo Bulls. 3-1 the final in that game. Johan Lundgren with that power play goal will stand as the game-winning goal scorer. Minnesota Wilderness, the Robertson Cup champions, have just defeated the Robertson Cup runners-up in a Robertson Cup Finals rematch up in Austin, Minnesota. A Minnesota matchup as well. 2-1 the final in favor of the Minnesota Wilderness. Goals were scored by Jack Forbort and Aaron Miller. Jan Stefka scored for Austin, but it wasn't quite enough to bring the Bruins back to tying the game. 2-1 again, the final in favor of the Wilderness. 6-3 the final in the game between the Topeka Roadrunners and the Springfield Junior Blues. So the Roadrunners have won 10 straight games. Third period surge provided by Tyler Hayes, J.B. Baker, and Marcus Russell led the Roadrunners to their 10th consecutive victory. The only team this season to win 10 consecutive games. Of course, the Wildcats were close last night, and their 9-game winning streak ended with a bang. Aberdeen defeated the Brookings Blizzard 3-1 up in a South Dakota matchup. So that's the final in that game. And last but not least, the Minot Minotauros with a 3-0 lead over the Bismarck Bobcats tonight. That's going to just about wrap things up for your out-of-town scoreboard. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast in spite of the outcome. One last time, the Brahmas 3, the Wildcats 2. These teams meet again one last time tomorrow night before heading home for the holidays. Again, folks, we really appreciate your support. On behalf of the Wichita Falls Wildcats, I'm Alex Von Coydel saying thank you and enjoy your Friday night. So long, folks.